pop up here on YouTube, right, when you publish
Yeah,
it.
and we are live. Alright guys, let me see, I'm gonna fix this. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode here. I'm just here tonight with File 4 Dirt Dart,
Hey,
and
everybody.
I sent a bunch of invites. Handgun U is supposed to come, and Bush Hunt is trying to fix his computer or something. But anyways, if you guys want to join, just send me a PM, and as long as you keep it clean, no nothing crazy like cursing like every 2 seconds, something like that. You can come back in and hang around with us for a while. So you guys know me, I'm Jarhead6, and I make videos here on YouTube, and that's about it. You want to do a quick intro, 504?
Yeah, 504 Dirt Dart. So I do videos on concealed carry topics and Second Amendment issues, stuff like that.
Very cool. You
Jarhead
said
6 and
snoring,
myself.
and
What's that?
no, go ahead. Sorry, bro.
Oh, I was just going to say Jarhead6 and myself are both prior service military, and so we have that experience behind us. But I don't know about
Yeah.
you, but I don't really consider myself a firearms expert per se. I've been out of that for quite a while, but I'm here to learn with everybody else.
Yeah, man, I don't consider myself an expert on anything. I mean, I got so much to learn, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think me and you do kind of the same thing when we put out videos. I put a video the other day called a tool inside your toolbox, and that's what training
yeah,
is all about. Just you know what I'm saying, having different ways to do something. You never know which one you're gonna use. So there's definitely a bunch of people here in YouTube that could teach you a lot of things. But then there's a bunch of other people that can't teach you anything. So you just gotta be very careful which one you pick.
yeah. I mean,
So
even in the military, I mean, my experience was there's there's a book way to do everything, and of course that's what you train to, but there's lots of different ways to accomplish the same goal, and depending on what you're doing, there could be more efficient ways to get that done, and through training you
yeah,
learn these things.
yeah, definitely, man. I remember when I was a young PFC back in the days. When you show up to your first unit, normally what they tell you is forget everything that you learned at school because we're gonna teach you the real
Yeah,
way. And I don't
yeah.
know, you ever heard terms like that?
Oh
So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
uh,
All that stuff you
so.
learned in boot, right, was just kind of
Mhm.
to exercise your mind and to learning how to learn. And then when you get to your unit, you're talking to people who really have experience, and they really show you the right way to do things. And it's kind of a whole different
Yeah,
ball game.
yeah, yeah, man. I gotta tell you, man. I'm sure you remember your first day in the fleet, or the first day in the first day in your first unit.
Yeah.
Eh, it was horrible for me, man. Horrible. I mean, it, the things that the things that Marines do, and sure Army does too. It's just a bad day being a
Oh
young
yeah.
Marine, you know.
Yeah.
But
The thing that was funny was coming
I
out of what we call basic training was you get to your unit and you think everything's all like super strict and everything, so you're standing at attention or parade rest for everybody. Everybody's looking at you at your unit like you're crazy. Like, what are you doing? Just relax.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you got, I mean, I won't talk about the things that happened to me on the first day, but I don't think it was legal in any way because they 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 mess with you, bro. They
Oh
do
yeah,
mess with you,
yeah.
and
Hey
a
Van.
lot of times they do it
Howdy.
purposely. Van,
Yeah.
Van is in the house. What's going on, Van Prepper?
Oh, just my back is giving out. I'm too old for all this shoveling, man. I got to move down south.
Oh man,
Really? Is that
I should drag my camera over to the window. It started snowing at 11 o'clock this morning. We probably got 2 inches on the ground now, and it never snows here. So
Mhm.
My
everybody
Man, you
thinks
parents,
gotta be
Oregon
careful
is
where
a
you're
winter
at.
wonderland, but I mean it never snows here.
right on. Now my parents are on vacation and they asked me to just not worry about their driveway and everything, but keep the sidewalk shoveled because if you don't shovel the sidewalk, the city will come in and do it and charge you. And so I went over to shovel their sidewalk, and when there's a lot of snow, the plow comes through and it knocks all the snow onto the sidewalk, so it's all packed in. Holy
Hmm.
cow! I'm like, man, I am way too old for this.
Man,
Me too.
I gotta tell you, man, when I went from when I came from I wasn't born in the United States, so when I came from Cuba, and no, I did not came in a raft. I took an
Dude, you were
airplane.
born in Cuba? I
Uh,
didn't know that. Wow.
what? What
That's
do you think?
huge.
What do you think is really? I
Yeah, I
said it
didn't
many
know that.
times already, bro.
I didn't know you were
Yeah, and
born there though. I knew you were Cuban. I just didn't know you were born there.
no, yeah, I'm a straight out Cuban, man. I was
That's
born
cool,
there.
man.
I don't. I mean, I've been in the United States freaking 20 years almost, and
Yeah.
but it's kind of funny, man, because I went to combat what 5 times, so they always will mess with me, all my
Yeah.
my boys, the country boys, and I used to tell them, what does it take, man? Here I am in Afghanistan for the fifth time, bro. Like what does it take for you guys to love me in a way. But
You know, my
anyways,
brothers back in the first Gulf War, right? Those guys didn't
really.
get their citizenship, man, after that. No. I got friends in Mexico and Canada and Portugal and Brazil. None of them got their citizenship after that war.
That's
It was it
bullcrap
was
right
different
there.
back
Wow.
then. Oh yeah, I know, it's
Yeah.
You,
crazy.
if you go to fight for this country in a war and they don't find any problem with the service,
Yeah,
you didn't like try to sell us down the river or something, you should get you should get fast track to citizenship for
I
that. I mean,
know.
what else
And
can
I,
you
and
do?
I
Well,
think I think that happens now. I think now you
yeah,
do.
yeah, they do. I
Yeah.
mean, I cannot tell you the process on that because I was an American citizen before I joined the military, and
Mhm.
which you have to in order to get a security clearance.
Yep.
And but what I can say is that I know I sent a bunch of Marines to get it done, and they do offer legal assistance that they build your package, and send it to immigration, and they even do the swearing and all that in the base. So they do hook you up, man. They do help you
Yeah, I
out a
think
lot.
nowadays
So
nowadays
that's
that's
good.
pretty smooth, which is good. But yeah,
Hmm.
Van, you'd get a kick out of this. So back when I was in the late '80s and early '90s, we had a lot of Canadians in the unit, and that was because it was so hard to get into the Canadian military. Those guys make a lot of money up there. Like a
Really?
PFC up in Canada, and this was back in the late '80s, early '90s, making $34,000 a year
Wow,
just to be an entry level
Wow.
person in their military. So they had a huge waiting list. So instead of waiting for years and years, those guys would come down here and join the U.S. Military.
that's 34 GER back in the late 80s is essentially. I
Yeah,
mean, that's like what 50 55 now. I mean, that's
probably so. Yeah,
it's
real money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if we paid our soldiers like that, we wouldn't have to worry about ever getting
You,
enough
you
people
know,
to serve.
and
yeah.
I kind of went off track of what I was gonna say, but real quick, what I was gonna say that in 1995 I went to New York and I lived in Yonkers, and I remember the snow being like up to my chest. But anyways,
Oh
when
yeah,
you're
man.
saying that, Ben, I read an article was about a month ago, and they were talking about how our E3s and E4s they get paid so much money versus to a guy that has a college degree. And I'm telling you, man, it blew my mind to hear this because, and I tell you what, I got an associate's and I got a bachelor's too. So I got a bachelor's degree, and now I'm going for a master's degree. And I was in the military, so I guess I could speak intelligent in a way. But you pay somebody that has a college degree $30,000, $40,000, and versus an E2 and E3 $30,000 to $40,000. Oh, not even that much, maybe E5, E6. But you have the ability to send that guy to a combat zone, and he has the chance to die. I mean, how much money will you charge as a civilian for me to send you to a combat zone where you could get killed? You know, $30,000 is nothing for that.
I think it's
you know
about
what I'm saying?
$150,000 right now.
Right.
Yeah.
To go take one of those
You're right.
contractor jobs.
Yeah, my brother-in-law
Look,
was, after he got out he ran a private like security firm, and they would get gigs for to go over to other countries. And at one point they got I don't remember what country it was, but the guy said they wanted them to get him in to and out of this one country in the Middle East, and he said, but we don't want you to bring any guns. And he's like, yeah, that's absolutely not going to happen. We're not we are not in the business of providing security for people and not bringing guns. That just isn't going to work.
You know, in 2009, 2010, I did 12 months in Afghanistan. So I was there for 12 months, and I started working with the force protection guys. And you know, your job is kind of like to assess a base for security issues. So you pretty much is the guy that go there and say, all right, look, man, you got to set up machine guns this way. You got to set up towers this way. The entry control point is messed up. Maybe you need to put a final vehicle, final barrier that is going to stop a car bomb coming in, things like that. And we had a lot of civilians that worked for us because those guys were the subject matter experts for the equipment that we use. And I tell you what, man, the first time that we got attacked, some of those guys that were getting paid $200,000 a year, they were like, nope, we're not going to go to that location because we have a chance to get killed. And I remember telling those guys, like, listen, idiot, why do you think that we pay you $200,000 for a year? Because you have a chance to die. You think we give you that money because you're an expert? You took a 6-week class on a camera, 6 weeks, and then you're getting paid $200,000 a year. You're not an engineer. You're not a doctor. You're a retard. Well, not retard. You're making more money than me, but I'm saying you were a guy that got lucky. You got a 6-week class, and then you came here to fix a camera. And 90% of the time you didn't fix the camera. 90% of the time you just changed it, you know? And don't get me wrong, man. I got to tell you this. I met some civilians that went into Afghanistan and Iraq to help out because they were true patriots. You know, guys that wanted to they were getting paid a lot of money, but they wanted to do something for the country. And they felt, you know, they're not in the military, so they serve. And you could just tell the difference between the guys that were doing it for the money and the guys that were doing it for the money also, but also to help out, if I make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Because some guys truly want to go and help, man.
Yep.
So,
no doubt about it.
Handgun U is here. Now we can start the party.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Boise State.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
My kid's a huge Boise State fan.
Well, you got a good kid then.
He's got jerseys and the whole posters. He's got all kinds of stuff.
Well, that's I'm originally from Idaho.
Is there any truth to the rumor? I remember hearing this, but I thought it was just somebody had made it up. Any truth to the rumor that because they had the blue field, they had birds that were like dive bombing it, thinking it was no? Okay, yeah, that would have been pretty awesome if that was true. They had to clean their birds up all the time.
But they do wear blue jerseys to blend in with the blue field.
Yeah.
And they get in trouble for that every once in a while.
But you gotta remember too, there's also lots of places that have green jerseys that plant green grass. So
right,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta tell you, man. Now that Handgun U is here, you're doing a good job in your channel, bro. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna give you a props, man. Good job, bro.
Thank you very much.
Like I'm telling you, man. I don't know why you picked that name. You may have to change it, dog, because you're not a Handgun newbie anymore. You get in there with the big boys.
No, I will always be a newbie.
That's a problem.
No, that's
you
actually
can't shake the handle once you get it. You know, I see all these great names like Casket Stacker and Texas Jetta, and I'm like, man, why did I say Van Prepper? Why didn't I think of something cooler than that before I came up with the channel name?
Yeah. That's actually, I actually like that name, Handgun Newbie, because it's kind of humble. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like, some of the names that I see is like Tactical Master, file this, and I'm like really, dude? Like, come on, man.
He almost said 504. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I was.
That was a Freudian
Almost
slip,
did
Dirt
it.
Dart. He's on you.
Yeah, I was like 5000. I would have messed with 504, man. He knows how to jump out of airplanes. I don't want to see him flying over my house and jump.
Only people who came from where I come know what 504 Dirt Dart means. So that was kind of the origin of that. Nobody else would know what that meant.
Yeah, Ted was the one who told me because I was kind of lost.
Yeah, Ted knew. Yeah.
I don't even try to figure out people's names. I'm just like, I'm pretty excited if, they have like the names where it's a simple name to say, but because it's written some with numbers instead of letters and trying to figure it out. You ever see me do shout outs and I'm clueless on somebody's name?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have no idea what this dude's name, so I'll just spell it out. I'm like, here's what it says, you find him. Here's a link.
Yeah. I like that you put in the link because at the beginning you said the name. I'm like, who are you talking about? I tried to search a guy, I couldn't find it.
I have the same.
The link.
That's what I started to do because I had that problem on other people's shout out videos. I'm like, I can't, if it's not spelled exactly like you would think, you don't know if it's one word or two words or, capitals, not capitals. And so I said, I got to start putting links in or nobody's going to find these people.
Yeah, links are the best. Links get the best action too. I mean, I know with yours, like I just go right down the links, and anybody I'm not subscribed to, I just sub them.
Yeah.
And whereas like J.R. Dugall, you gotta, because he doesn't do links because he's on like an iPad or a phone or something,
right.
So then you got to go into search and you got to find him and stuff. It's a lot.
And depending on what the name is, sometimes there's, like you'll get a name that's a common name. And there's like 800 dudes with the same name. You're like, I don't know which one I'm supposed to sub to. So you just start randomly subbing every Eric White you can find.
Yeah.
There's 800 Eric Whites. They're like, who is this guy? I don't have no idea. Why is this crazy prepper guy subbing my channel?
I got to show Al Owens. I saw him in the comments there. I got to show Al Owens what I picked up today.
Sweet.
Went down at lunch. They called me, said, hey, it's in. So here we go. We're ready to get rocking.
Where is Professor Ted at? Why isn't he here? That's what I call him.
I don't know what Ted is at, man.
I call him Professor Ted because I popped in for just a minute at the AMFA chat, and I saw him with his glasses and his hair. I was like, he looks like a professor.
Ted's like the elder
statesman. Sure. Yeah.
Statesman.
Nah, come on now. We all know that guy's not that smart. Come on now.
Ted?
Yeah.
Man,
he lives in Mississippi, right? He can't be that smart.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, for the record, because Ted is like part of the AMFA network. I love those guys, and I do not concur with anything you guys saying. Ted is awesome.
Ted's a great guy, man.
Hell yeah, man! And you know what? He has so much knowledge when it comes down to weapons. Like, it's unbelievable, man. He's actually building me a lower, so I can't wait for that lower to get here. I sent him the FFL information, and so it should be here in the next couple of weeks.
That's cool, man.
Pretty cool.
I got delayed at the gun shop, so they called me, so I run down there to pick up my lower, and so they run the little background thing. Boom. I bet it took like almost an hour for it to come back.
Oh, dude, that stinks. That happened to me twice in the last year, and I think the reason it happened, I'm pretty sure that since the NSA spies on everybody, I had been leaving like nasty, insulting things on John McCain's Facebook page, like your services are no longer required. You withered old dinosaur. You suck. Stuff like that. And I'm like thinking John McCain, because he is a bitter, grumpy old dude. I'm like thinking he's probably sitting around and he's like, you know what I got to do? Find this guy and hang him up every time he runs a background check, because I had never been held up before, and I got held up like 2 times right in a row, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
What you have to do? You have to wait for your. What about if you have a concealed permit? Can you just get it and see you later kind of thing? Go there, pick the gun, and go. Because that's kind of here in Jackson. Yeah. Well, yeah. What about you guys? Oh, you guys got to go through the whole process.
You still have to have a background check. We do, and then we pay for the gun.
For the lower, you do.
and we get a receipt, and then we have to drive to the county sheriff's, have them add the gun to our permit, and
What?
then we go back to pick the gun up. We can't, when we pay for the gun, we're not allowed to take the gun with us. We have to go to the county sheriff's and have it added to our permit, and they give us like this
Yeah.
ticket to bring back, and that's how we get it.
Well,
So.
here in North Carolina, either you get a permit to purchase a weapon, but you can only purchase up to 5 pistols. I want to say, or 5 firearms, not firearms, the pistols or revolvers. And then if you have a concealed permit, you just walk there and you pick up whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
So in Oregon, the concealed permit doesn't do anything for it. They don't even look at it.
Yeah.
They have to do a background check on every serialized weapon, or in this case, lower receiver.
Yeah. Hey, so we got a firearm guy and Brian. You want to do a quick intro, guys?
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, sorry, I was in the middle of changing shirts. I still had my work clothes on.
And your camera's off? What?
What?
It is-
What? You changed your shorts?
I can't show the star. I can't show the emblem on my
Where
shirt.
we
so
could
I
have got
to-
like 1,000 viewers instantly had you done that on camera.
Oh,
but-
good grief. That's the last thing I need.
Man, this is weird, man. Go ahead, Brian.
Anyway, I'm Brian with Worldwide Bushcraft and Survival. Nobody important and nobody special.
We like you.
You and me both, brother.
There you go.
Oh man. Go ahead, Dan.
Dan here from the Firearm Guy channel. Just make short, boring videos. That's it.
Welcome to my world. At least yours are a little exciting.
No, I like yours too, Brian.
Man, I like that last video you put out with that 22 you're shooting. That was pretty awesome. I gotta tell you. You want to talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. I gotta say that is so much fun. The reason I asked is because I put a video out a couple days ago, actually, and but that HTA 9022, I mean, it was a blast. It really is.
How's the 22? Are you guys able to buy 22 up there already?
Oh, I've got
Or is it
thousands.
still difficult? Yeah, I mean, I'm tracking too. I got a few thousand too, but I'm saying, regular people, are you guys being able to find 22 in the stores?
Regular people. Jarhead just
Like-
declassified
Yeah.
himself from the regular folks.
No, I mean, what I meant to say is that we and probably the people that listen to us are more into the prepare side of the house versus non-prepare, expect the government to support you kind of thing. You know, you guys know
say
what
what
I'm
you
saying.
mean, Jarhead.
So-
You guys with 1,000 subs
Yeah.
or more. That's what you mean. You know,
I mean,
us little guys.
ultimately, no, I'm saying ultimately we as guys that are preparing, ultimately we're gonna most likely have a higher percentage of surviving. Like some people in my family that are expecting the government to go to your house and give you everything that you need. Most likely they're gonna die. So
Yeah.
so maybe I put that in the wrong way.
That sounds like a great holiday card to send some of your family.
Merry
needs to make-
Christmas, you're going to die.
Yeah. Somebody needs
Hey,
to make
look.
some specific prepper holiday cards you can send your family.
Hey, I say something nice, man. Usually my mom says I'm kind of crazy because I prepare for, to defend my family in a way. But then we don't think we're crazy. We're just cool people, I guess. But anyways, I think I kicked out Dan from that statement. What are you doing there, Brian? What are you getting ready
Make
for?
sure it didn't have a loaded round in the chamber. Just make sure one loaded.
I see the AR back there. Nice.
I painted that
cami
sucker.
paint or whatever Let's see it, man.
Still got a long way to go on it, I think. But let's see.
Oh,
Nice.
that's nice.
Does it look all right? I don't know.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
like
it
it, but I think I got a little too green. So I did my 30-06 and then did this same knife I showed the other day, last Friday. I think I like this little bit lighter color better.
Oh, I like that.
This got a little bit more work.
You got any? You were talking about getting a plate carry and getting some type of protection. You got anything finally?
Yeah, I need to.
I mean, it was months ago.
I think what I need to. Hold on, I'll sit there and pull it up to make sure I understand. I'm saying the right thing because I was trying to decide between two, and I will find it here momentarily.
Because I've been in the market to buy some type of chest rig. I don't want to buy a plate carry, man. I don't think my back can take it. I want to buy something that is pretty light that you could take and go with it, you know. And I saw this company called Strike. What's up?
So far at work, I don't have to use any kind of plate carrier, but for the house, this is the tactical salt gear chest rig. And I don't know, I ought to do a review on it, but I just don't do many reviews. But this right here is, I tell you what, I love that sucker.
How heavy is it?
It's not. I really truly think that even a sissy, I mean, even a dude like you. Sorry, man. I was cheap. I think even you can handle that. The Condor I was looking at though for the plate carrier, I can't remember. I was looking at 3 different ones. It was the Defender's, the one I think I ended up deciding on. It was going to be between that or the Operator. I think I like that little bit fuller chest of the Defender better.
I like that. I like what you got, man. It looks pretty nice.
That looks great.
But Dan, you back?
Yeah.
All right, man. What were you saying? What were you saying about the little 22?
No, I was just gonna brag about my new bullpup. That's all.
I got that new revolver that I show in the video, and I got to tell you, man, I'm liking it a lot. And I know Handgun Newbie hates me because he doesn't like revolvers, but
no, I think it's fine.
I got it in the local store. I mean, it's a German revolver called EAA Windicator, and it was $269, man.
Ooh, can't beat that, man.
I know, man, and I was talking to Dan about it, and I kind of took your advice, what you said about, hey, you know what, use it, and if it doesn't work, sell it. So I was like, yeah, $269, you can't beat that.
Well,
nice, right there.
Somebody will always buy a revolver for $250.
Yeah.
And there's always somebody that's going to want that.
Yeah,
you say revolver for $250, somebody will jump on that.
That's a nice caliber
definitely,
too, man. That'll put a hurting on somebody.
Yeah, well, I just got this right here. It's 158 grains, hollow points. So that would take care of business. 38 special though, plus P. And I got the problem with this guns, man, is that usually you buy a weapon that is not a common firearm, and then it's difficult to find a holster.
Check out this holster. See-through Kydex.
Holster.
Nice.
And it conceals very good, man. It's very good. I know I like my Glock 17, but it's way too big to conceal, man. And the wife doesn't want to give me her Glock 19. Maybe I need to buy my own.
Get yourself a shield.
Yeah, but I mean they're pretty expensive too. You know, they go into $400, $500, $600. I mean, to get one of those little 9mm pistols. I mean, you get what you pay for. It's just now the time right now.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, I know. I paid $425 for mine. You know, 8 months ago, it was every bit of $550, $600. Matter of fact, that's what I paid for my XDS. Now you can get those for far less than that, like well, maybe not $450, but the upper fours, as where couple years ago. Matter of fact, I saw them for $700 at times. So timing's everything, you know, especially in the gun world. Something comes out like that Glock 42. You watch, you know, people want them now. Once the steam rolls down, that's gonna drop another 30 or 40 bucks, maybe. Glock doesn't play the pricing game as much as other companies do, but still could happen if the man tails off.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, I went to see that Rock Island M200 that you did the video on it, and I saw the 206, which is a 2-inch one.
Yeah.
And it was ugly. It was pretty ugly, but it felt so good in my hands. Like, it was amazing how it felt in my hands. And I was gonna buy it, but I saw this one, and that's where I got that one from. And that one was a little bit more quality. But I think it was $219 for 38.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good price. I mean, it was pretty good. You can't beat $200.
You need to buy two of them and just buy one of those dual, you know, holsters, or just have two of them.
Yeah. You know what?
A New York reload holster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be pimp. You need to do it, dude.
Funny enough, I've actually seen one of those. I was down at Forest City Tactical this week, and they're like showing me some stuff that they're kind of playing with and whatever. And he pulls out this like holster. It's like, you know, well, it can't show up on the screen, you know, but it's big, and it's, I think it was for like 2 Glock 19s inside the waistband. Put, you know, appendix carry. It wasn't anything that'll sell or anything, you know, but it was cool to see. He's like, yeah, we just made this to mess around with it.
Why would you want to do
That's
that?
cool. Huh?
Why would you want to do that, man? I don't know, man.
Nobody would.
I
They
think
were
it's too
just messing around.
much.
The main reason is because you can. This is America.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, yeah, that's true.
For now.
Yeah. I'm pretty aware. I'm pretty aware what it is to be an American. How to pay for it. So it was like $1,000, dude. You got it, Brian. You got the joke.
Oh, do what?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I say I'm pretty sure what it is to be an American. I had to pay for it. I had to pay like $1,000.
Yeah.
So,
You paid for most and more than most native born. I will say that.
I got to tell you, man, me and 504 were talking right before this started, and I see some guys that have this EDC, a bunch of EDC dump or whatever, and they carry so many things, man, and that kind of seems to me not realistic, you know. You know, a knife, a cell phone, 2 guns, a set of keys, paracord, you know, a first aid kit. I mean, come on, man. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but that just sounds like too much for me. You know, I pretty much carry my cell phone and a pistol. That's just how I roll. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm not well prepared or something. But
Well, you at least have a knife on your keychain?
well, yeah. I mean, I carry a knife too. I carry a pocket knife, the pistol. You know, maybe, you know, typically when I go out too, I usually go with my wife, so she also carries a pistol. But yeah, I'm pretty simple. You know, a cell phone, my pistol, my knife, and that's about it. I don't carry like a million things. You know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I see some of the videos on YouTube, and they like, man, it feels like you got to bring a backpack just to carry everything you bring in with you. It's just too much. But maybe I'm wrong. You guys got anything going on in your channels?
I will be here pretty soon. Right now, I don't.
What about you, Ben? Which you got plenty, Brian. You want to talk about it?
Well, I'm just thinking about doing some more gun stuff, some training stuff, just things that we've having to deal with at work, and kind of take it and make some videos with it. It's nothing that hasn't been done before, but it has never been done by this fat guy. I'm just saying. Sarah, I'm sitting here reading while you guys are talking, I'm reading this article. Constitution check. What does it mean that there is a right to bear guns? So I guess there's the Supreme Court's about to hear a couple cases. about what it really means to by the right to bear arms.
Yeah.
That's great.
You
Always
know
something.
what surprised me? I don't know if you guys seen this video, but it was a video posted by some guy, and it was shared on my channel. But it was a guy that was at a college ground and had a clipboard, and it was asking people to sign this petition so they could they could support the president's bills to go against the Second Amendment right. And you know, he's like talking to these people and saying, hey, look, I want you to sign this bill because we're gonna give it to the you know, to whatever, you know, and gonna go against and it's gonna support the president's bills to go against the Second Amendment right. And at one point, like these college students weren't even listening. At one point, the guy is actually telling the students, hey, look, I want you to sign this bill. I want you to sign this petition because what we want to do is that we want to kill all law-abiding citizens that own weapons legally. And the kids were like signing this petition. One of the other things he said, yeah, he was like, he's like, hey, I want you guys to sign this petition because we're gonna pick up every law-abiding citizen that own a weapon and gonna put it inside a FEMA camp. And the kids were like,
it's a
okay.
petition
I mean,
to
it's like
round up
20 years
all
old
gun
kid.
owners and put them inside containment camps and then execute them. Yeah, and
Now, how
everybody,
old
I
were
think
they?
it was like Berkeley or something like that, but all these kids were signing it. Yeah.
How old
I
were
mean,
these kids that you're talking about, Jarhead?
college, maybe like 20, 21, 8, 19, around there.
Yeah,
But you
college
know,
kids are dumb. I remember when I
Yeah.
was
dumb.
going to OU in the early '90s, and there was a petition to go around to end women's suffrage, and just thousands of kids were just signing this, like, yeah, we need to do. They're just ignorant, man. They don't know better. They don't know anything until they get out of college and start living life for about 7 to 10 years and fall on their face and get a nice slap of reality, and
Yeah, what they
then
need to do
they're
is pay
productive human
taxes.
beings.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
there we
Dan.
go.
Yeah, they need to pay taxes and understand what the heck they're talking about.
No
And you know what's
doubt.
interesting is how easy is it to take somebody from one position to the other position by showing up, acting authoritative, coming in with your false what you claim to be facts, and these kids just gather around. And I've seen it at gun rallies, for crying out loud. People, you'll start here as a Second Amendment cause, and next thing you know, you'll be over here talking about something else that has nothing to do. And
Yep.
that's a lot of speakers do that. You know, they just spin the whole issue to their personal agenda.
Yep.
Back to college kids.
You know what I seen too? I mean, anytime you talk to somebody and somebody's talking about executing people, you would think that your brain start acting up and you start listening. I mean, we are talking about killing people, and they weren't listening. I mean, it was just a lot of those guys had headphones on and they listened to the music or talking to someone, and they don't care. And it goes back to, and I did a video about this a while ago, and some people were pissed about it, but it goes back to the whole open carry. I mean, I agree with open carry. You can open carry whatever you want. If you want to open carry a tank, open carry a tank as long as it's legal. I don't care. But you know, some of these videos like I seen is the guy telling his wife or his girlfriend, "Hey, baby, are you ready to record me?" And then the girl is like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And she puts the camera off, and then they start walking through a main highway. And next thing you know, you have like 7 cops, and he's like, "Make sure you record everything." And it goes back to training. If you open carry to self-defense, whatever, or to train, because a lot of guys say, "Oh, I just want to train people and I want to teach people." How are you teaching those people doing that? I don't know what's your technique on teaching, but I don't think it's working. That's not a good technique.
I agree. You know, I think that if you want to open carry, it is your constitutional right to be an idiot and do so.
Yep.
I just don't think it's not going to accomplish anything. I say
I
that,
don't know
but
why
then again,
anybody
I've
would
done it
want to
before.
do it.
Yeah. I mean, in North Carolina, you can open carry. I'm all about it. I'm freaking extremely 110% about it. I just don't see your training, the training purpose on you recording, and I think it's making us look bad. You know what I'm saying? That's what's doing it, making us look bad. You went to Walmart, you picked up an AR, and you picked up a camera, and now, and if you see those channels, they have like 3, 4 videos, and then one of them has like 100,000 views, and everything else has nothing. They're just looking for that video that's gonna go viral, and they're gonna make money. It's all about money. They don't care.
That's just it. It's about views. It's about a popularity contest. It has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. They'll start with that premise, but it has to do with trying to get a video to go viral. And I've seen those same videos, and some of those guys act like complete jerks, disrespectful to the police officers who are responding to a call. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And I tell you what, I don't want one of those idiots around there when I'm walking down the street with my wife and daughter with some jerk trying to create attention on himself based on an AR or a shotgun, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, they do have the right to do that, but when they're doing it to create a distraction, I got an issue with that.
Yeah,
they'll definitely see my hand go to my hip. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen guys with the whole AR and like an American flag flying down from the barrel. Come on, man! Like really?
Yeah.
It's funny, dude. But it is what it is, man. People usually when you say something or you don't agree, I mean, a lot of the comments that I got were like, "Oh, you don't support the Second Amendment and this and that." I do, but what is your purpose? What are you trying to do? Because you're not accomplishing your goal. I don't think you're accomplishing your goal. And one last thing with this, and Dan was talking about it. If you want to do something, and if you're going to start screaming "F this, F that, F this," I'm a combat vet, F that. That's actually embarrassing to all the combat vets to hear you after 20 years in the military, and the best military in the world, and you are 45 years old, and you weren't told discipline to stop cursing. You would think after 20 years in the military, the best military in the entire world, you will learn how to conduct yourself professionally and not say F this every 2 seconds. I'm just saying. But.
Well, here's the thing. We are not trying to recruit each other for our cause. We're all on the same team.
Very good point.
People with defense sitters. Now, when you see somebody like that, the average American who believes in the Second Amendment all of a sudden starts questioning, what exactly does this mean? Does this mean that I have to support some guy who's going to walk around with an AK on his back in a grocery store? Because that's when we lose the argument with the American people. I don't have a problem with open carry. I don't think most Americans have a problem with open carry. Matter of fact, somebody open carry. I don't know about you guys. I don't think twice of it. And I do see it.
Yeah.
But this crazy stuff is where we lose the argument with defense sitters, the people who, they're the ones who could sway the argument, make the difference. And we'll lose them if people act like that.
Yeah, I think there's a group there, and I talked about this. There's a group that supports the Second Amendment, and then there's a group that doesn't. But the majority, they don't care. They just don't care. And when you see guys like that, is what you're saying, Dan. Those guys that don't care start pushing into the group that do not support the Second Amendment. So
I think New York tells the tale. You had both sides of the argument, and then New York went what I consider to be a little too far, and now you got a ton of people joining up with the gun rights groups in New York. And I think, a big chunk of society doesn't really care strongly one way or the other, but when you start talking about taking away guns, then all of a sudden they do care, because it's still a strong American tradition. And people don't want to give up their guns when it comes right down to it.
I don't.
No.
Who'd have thought 6 months ago that New York would have one of the largest NRA affiliates in the country?
Oh yeah, we exploded after the SAFE Act.
Yeah, nobody would have ever saw that coming. But now they do. Even bigger than Texas.
That's thanks to Vance and all his videos that he's been putting out. Good job, Van Prepper.
Listen, I don't have enough views on all my videos put together to account for how many people have joined NYSERPA. So yeah, it was pretty cool though that they actually made an announcement today. It kind of backs up what the firearm guy is saying here. They said, that they were going to stop attending the really, really big Second Amendment rallies because what's happening
that's right.
One, they're not just Second Amendment rallies. There's, fracking groups, and there's 20 other groups there, and everybody wants their time to say something, and it defeats the purpose. And they also said what's happening is you go to these events, you spend all your money to organize these events, and the only people who go to these events are people that are already converted. Your resources would be better spent going out and getting that middle 50% that is kind of doesn't really have an opinion either way, and then convincing them and making them understand how this really does affect them, and why they should be involved in this and why they should have an opinion about it, because most people don't have any idea how this affects them. So
that's a good point.
Do you guys do anything? Yeah, who's that?
It's me, Bush Hunt.
Is that? Yeah, bro. We can hear you now, bro. Welcome.
Is it good? Is it bad? Or?
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. This video's not working for some reason. I can't get the video up, so I gotta work on that.
Spent all your resources designing my logo. You don't have any left to put your camera back on.
For real.
Yeah. So, all right. What were we saying?
We were talking about people changing the argument from a straight Second Amendment rally to every other cause, and I've seen that myself. I mean, I don't know if you guys checked it out, but last year I spoke at the state capitol in Michigan, and I have a video up on it, and I stuck strictly with the cause of 2A, and I addressed the president and other state and federal legislators who were against us and some of their cockamamie ideas. After me came people from all different directions, all different ambitions that did not focus on the Second Amendment. Actually, not long after I spoke, I left. I couldn't take it anymore. And that was supposed to be a nationwide rally at the state capitals. And I think a lot of them were very good, but I know they get misguided after a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When we saw that, remember when like the Iraq War and the war in Afghanistan started, and all those protest groups were coming, and they completely lost any ability to get a coherent message across, because every time they were interviewed, they'd interview 100 people, and you'd get 100 different answers about why they were there or what their cause was. You had one group that this was their thing, and one group that this was their thing, and they just all sort of showed up at this one rally, and it really hurt their ability to get their message across. And we don't want to make the same mistake.
Right. Hey, General Banter, what do you think about this?
Who?
I see General Banter there. He's been hanging with us for a while. I want to get his thoughts. And then you too, buddy.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'm Canadian, right? So I don't have a huge platform on it. What I don't really understand, and I'm hoping that I could talk with Van Prepper someday and he could actually educate me on it, but I am still curious as to why it can even be challenged. I don't understand why. I mean, it's one of your constitutional rights. Well, why is that even being acceptably challenged? I don't get that. It'd be like challenging our charter rights and trying to take them from us. I mean,
well, they've realized they can't challenge it outright, so they're just chipping away around at the fringes, and you end up with situations like California, Connecticut, and New York, where they're now actually able. They know which weapons. You heard Van Prepper talk earlier that when he buys a weapon, he has to first go to the county sheriff, right?
Yeah, just for handguns.
Counties, but just for handguns. But you have to actually get their permission. I'm going to buy this. This is what I'm going to get, and take that certificate to the gun shop to get it. So the government now knows who has what guns, and we've seen confiscation, at least in California. I don't know about the other states, but I know for a fact in California, because it's in the news, that they'll just show up and get all your guns because they think that you're not a person who should be having guns.
Yeah, you know, up in Canada, what we had is the gun registry law, and so that came in effect, and I think, well, a few years back, anyways. And it, you know, gun owners fought against it, and they lobbied against it. And what ended up happening was a new body of parliament came in, and they basically got rid of it. They squashed it, and it left. So what ended up happening was the gun registry was closed. Allegedly, all of the records were destroyed, and this included long arms, as they consider them here. You know, so your rifle, shotgun, so on. And of course, all handguns still have to be the exact same way down there. They have to get a piece of paper, then you go to the gun shop, and you can go ahead and pick up your firearm. But then again, you have to have that piece of paper that says, this is where my gun club is, this is the route that I take to the gun club, and if you're found off of that route, you're going to get spanked for it. And, you know, like I said, so they know exactly where all the handguns are. Well, ideally, all the legal handguns are anyways, and there you go.
Yeah.
In New York City, they've
That is
actually
just
done the
stupid, man.
confiscations too.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
They do the registrations, and then they decide later, oh wait a minute, we decided that you can't have this, and then they've gone to people's houses and taken them. And that's one of the things that frustrates me when you listen to like Kirsten Gillibrand or Chuck Schumer or Michael Bloomberg. They always say, well, you know, 85% of the weapons in New York are illegal weapons. Well, they weren't when you bought them. You changed the rules, had these people register them, and then decided they were illegal later and took them from them, and that then is used as your basis for saying we have this big illegal gun problem. Well, no, we have a big problem with you making the guns illegal. There was nothing, you know, in New York City, I think shotguns, you have to register just a shotgun. You know, everything has to be registered there.
Oh, good grief.
I would not even visit New York City because of that stuff.
Yeah, but
We
you
don't
know
want to
what?
visit you anyway.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, that's what they found out in Connecticut, right? Connecticut, now you have to go register all your guns, and they found out, oh, shoot, nobody's doing it. So now they're kind of stuck. They made this law, and nobody's doing it. So.
You know what you haven't heard from New York? Now, we had the registration kick in on the 15th of January, and they haven't put out any numbers. And the reason is, I have a theory on this. This was all for political face for Andrew Cuomo, because he thought this was going to launch him into a run for the president. He doesn't actually care, and he doesn't want the hassle of, you know, he doesn't want to come out and admit, look, nobody's registering these things. We haven't made any dent at all in whatever kind of convoluted logic that we used to think this was going to make a difference. He's perfectly happy just having the rest of New York asleep and thinking that all these guns are registered, you know, when nobody has gone to register them. I'm going to guess they're somewhere around Connecticut. It's probably 4%, maybe less, because, man, I don't know anybody who's got them that was going to register them. So
Yeah, the news is reporting, you know, maybe 95% have not
What are they
registered.
trying to do? Because they're going to register the weapons. There's not going to be any crime. There were crime before there were any weapons. People were killing each other with rocks. So it's just stupid, man.
Jarhead, you can't bring facts and logic into a debate. It doesn't work against liberals. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It's just.
Think of the children. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it's crazy because I mean, we see countries like I think it was Japan or China where a guy killed a stab over 22 kids with a knife.
China.
I mean, it was in China. Yeah, people are going to do those things. I mean, it goes all the way back in the Bible. People were killing each other with rocks. I mean, that's who we are. Unfortunately, our flesh is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? We are not. We have a little bit of evil inside of us, and I guess, you know, God gave us free will, and this is what happened. You know, and people are going to do things like that. I mean,
Well,
I don't know, man.
this was started long before then.
Mm-hmm.
Back when the Neanderthals were around, and Ooga Booga and Dubba Dubba woke up and said, "Hey, I'm gonna whack him with a rock and take his woman and his food." People realized then this is the way it is.
That's what I love about you, Tom. You're so eloquent.
Thank you.
Sorry.
People's been killing each other for centuries. and they're not going to stop it. You can control all the guns you want. Somebody's going to go out and take a stick and whack some guy over the head and kill him. So what sense is it to register your AK if you're just going to get whacked in the head with a baseball bat?
You don't want to go walk around, Melbourne, Australia, and late at night. You're asking for trouble.
Something else. Something that I think we talked about this in the past, but the prices. I mean, the prices to get a concealed weapon, it varies in different states. But I mean, I want to say I spent about $150 at least, $160 for me, and like $160 for my wife, something around there. So again, you have the right to bear arms, but you got to pay close to $200 to be able to purchase a gun. And a lot of the people that don't really make an income and trying to purchase a weapon for self-protection or to defend their families, I mean, paying close to $200 to get a permit to then go and buy a pistol for $300-400. You're talking about a lot of money, man. It kind of takes away the ability for people to defend themselves.
Well, that's one of what you got to do.
What you got to do in this circumstance, if it's cost you all this money, you got to go down to the county courthouse, re-register your name to Ooga Booga, and go to Walmart for $39.95, buy an aluminum baseball bat. Problem solved.
I made a video about that a while ago. If you don't agree with weapons, get a baseball bat.
Hey, when I was a kid, you carried knives, baseball bats, and chains. Nobody carried a gat, whatever the hell that is, but nobody carried a gat, a 9mm, or an AK. You punch somebody in the face. If you ran into a big gang, they had knives and chains and bats. Then you punched them in the face, too, and took their bats and beat the heck out of them with it. That's the way things were on the streets. Nowadays, you walk up to somebody and say hello the wrong way, they're sticking a gun in your face.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
now, see, that's where gun control laws should be focused, is the criminal element that's walking around the street with a 9mm stuffed in his pants that he's wearing down around his knees, and say, hey, do you have a gun? No, I don't. Pat that boy down. Find out if he does. If he has a gun, put his butt in the jail. Don't go taking anybody on this panel who has legal guns and put our butts in jail because, oh, hey, wait a minute, our state legislature said we have to get a permit to register this. And like Dwayne said, okay, this is the route I have to take. So typically, if I have to go X to X to X to get to my range and the cops make me go down a C detour, they could stop me right then and there and nail me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the goal, Tom, is to get rid of all guns. So you make it as expensive as you can to get guns. You make it as hard as you can to own guns. And the goal
they've tried
is
that
to get
over
rid
the
of
years.
guns. Yeah,
I agree. I agree with that. Here's the thing, guys. There's no way they're going to get rid of all the guns. It's impossible. And I'd mentioned this in a post, I think. What I think would be almost a better beneficial way of the government trying to manage this, and I almost wondered if that's the way it was going when you guys were talking about ammo shortages. And I said this, how do you defeat a country without firing around? You starve them. And they did this over in Holland and so on and so forth during the years when the war. They just starved them, and basically they died. I mean, so you could do the same thing with gun owner. You could starve them for their ammunition. They're never going to be able to make it so that they. Yes, I know, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Don't give them information.
No, I know, but like I said, Jarhead went ahead and bought something from, like I said, a foreign gun manufacturer. There's no way they're going to stop that. But I think that if they could do it that way with ammunition. But again, you know what I mean. So to me, I think they're going about it all so wrong. To me, it's a money grab. It's about, and they did the same thing in Canada. Like I said, when they registered all the firearms, and just like Jarhead said, it cost you like $200 to go ahead and get a permit. Well, it was the same thing. It was a money grab, and I mean, and just to make something a little bit more difficult. But then, of course, Dirt Dart said the same thing. I don't know. I don't understand why they're attacking your Second Amendment rights the way they are and how they're going about it. I think they're going about
French.
it.
They're assholes.
Well, that's probably the case. And a lot of it's coming from people who don't know any better.
Exactly. That's what I said.
They get people in offices who make these choices who have no knowledge whatsoever, and they think this is going to fix the problem. But like I said, they're going about it wrong if that's going to be the way it is. Maybe they should actually arm everyone, and then gun violence maybe would stop them, because nobody was going to want to take a shot, because they know it's going to come back to them.
The funny part is, there's a county in Texas that has no law. My brother-in-law went up there just to hang around for a while. You're allowed to carry open just like the Wild West. They have no crime statistics in that area.
Exactly.
What does that tell you? Now, New York City, it's got all these happy laws. Los Angeles has got a bunch of happy laws. The only people that's running around with guns are the criminals.
Yeah.
Because they don't care.
Here in North Carolina, you go open carry, and at least in my city, people open carry all the time. Like I went to Ross and Walmart, and you see guys open carry pistols, not really shotguns or ARs or anything, but it's very common to see somebody with a pistol attached to the belt, and just like Dan was saying, 90% of the time, no one cares. They just minding his own business, and just doing whatever he's doing. I mean, it's very normal. So
we got open carry laws here too, but it just what you have here is okay. You're walking through Walmart, to use your example, and some middle class idiot that just moved here from New York is walking down the same aisle and goes, "Oh my God, he's got a gun." Well, it's not like the first one you've ever seen. Every kid on your block has one of these. Here, look at it. It's a gun. It's a tool. It's like a hammer or a club. If I don't use it, it doesn't do anything to you.
What do we do to, we were talking about the whole training piece. What do we do to help out? I mean, do you guys talk to people? Because, like, for example, my mom is like, what do you guys got a gun. My wife had a gun inside her purse. And we talked, and after a while, she was like, yeah, it kind of makes sense to have a weapon, because, I mean, nowadays, you go to the mall, and you may get shot while you're eating food with your family, you know what I'm saying? You go to the movies, the possibilities of getting killed are pretty
Go to the food court at the mall, man.
Yeah.
It's the most dangerous place.
I don't go to malls, so.
So what I'm saying is that after talking to my mom and things like that, people start, maybe it's not such a bad idea. So I guess it's critical for us to talk to people and kind of like educate them. And look, maybe, this is what's going on.
How are you supposed to talk to them and educate them, though? You can't just walk up to somebody in Walmart and say, hey, let me tell you about my 38.
No, I mean, I'm talking about starting with friends. I mean, you guys probably have friends that think you kind of loopy out there because you have all these guns. I'm sure one of your friends
all of them.
I did too.
Hey guys, does anybody here have like wherever they live open carry?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We do.
Oregon has open carry.
Yeah, PA has open carry.
I'm here in Florida, and we have concealed only. And I'm 50-50 on it. Like, if they had open carry, I don't know if I would open carry, because I feel like I'll be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow.
You may want to check. You may want to check on that, because I'm pretty sure in Florida you could open carry at camping grounds. And
camping grounds, fishing, hunting and all that stuff, but out in Walmart, no.
Yeah. I don't open carry in Oregon because I don't like to tell people that I'm carrying. So.
Well, that's the thing. If you're open carry, you're just advertising the fact that you got a gun.
Yeah.
And let's just hypothetically say you're involved in one of them. What do they call them? Run-by hittings they had a few months ago. Because you just
Knockout
run up.
game.
Knockout game.
Knockout.
Hypothetically, somebody walks up to you and knocks you out. Now he's got your weapon too.
Well, you know the reason why you got open carry so you can show out your 1911. How else are you gonna show your 1911? I mean.
Only if you got a stainless one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to carry one of them long barrel ghost guns.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan got some pistols out there that I like to take out in the ride here in North Carolina. Just open carry those babies. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's Dan.
But anyways.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to get back to the point you said about how do we educate people. I think it's important for people to understand that the facts are on our side. If you look at, I think Cable User was talking about some of these other states that are, they're not gun-friendly states. They have a lot of crime compared to Texas, compared to other. Look at Chicago, Illinois. Okay, so we've got the facts on our side. The second thing we can do as video makers are make videos, because I don't know about you guys, but I cannot reach a crowd of X amount of people by talking to them in a Walmart parking lot. But when we make a video and all of a sudden people start talking and sharing, next thing you know, word gets out. Hey, maybe this guy's onto something. It's we all tend to look at the same sources, right? We go to our gun magazines and we watch videos. A lot of other people don't do that, so that's one way to get the word out and get the facts out.
I agree. You can only do what you can only do, right? And so we're all on YouTube, and you do what you can, you know?
Well, we have to point out that the facts are the facts. And I don't care what any politician says, when guns are restricted, the criminals run wild. And it's not a safe area.
Yeah.
Here's a hypothetical situation for you. When I was a kid, things were rural here.
How long was that ago?
A long time ago, yes. Well, God was my best friend, so. But
don't eat the
I
apple.
had a dad that would. I didn't. I let my wife eat it. Now we're even. Anyway.
Which one?
I think it was the first one, because she ran off with the farmer's daughter. Anyhow, my dad would run out on the porch. If he thought he heard anybody walking around by the house, and whack off 2 rounds out of that 12 gauge. I did the same thing when I was growing up when I first got my house here. If I'd see something running through the woods, I shot off a round, scared it away. People thought we were nuts. Came nowhere near our area of the neighborhood. Now that I've grown up a little bit, I've got people that's throwing garbage away in the dumpster that I rent per month. They pull into my yard to do whatever they feel like. I literally have an iron fence post at the end of my driveway. I've had to put up 6 times this summer because people pull into my driveway and run over my fence post. But years ago, I didn't have to worry about that when I used to just take the gun out the door and they're like, ah! And they never came by.
Yeah, you got to go Joe Biden on him, man. Just get that shotgun out, fire off a couple rounds.
Yeah, but I think it was maybe. Go ahead, 5-4.
When I was growing up and in high school, I mean, when it was hunting season, half the cars out in the high school parking lot had rifles in the back.
Oh
They
yeah.
weren't in cases. They weren't hidden. They're in a rifle rack in the back of the pickup or something like that. You know, and nobody even, it wasn't weird. Nobody batted an eye. They're all out there in the high school parking lot. Things are different. I mean, once you get outside of rural America, and I think things have changed in the last 20 years, 30 years.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Because when I was a kid, I mean, I remember one guy hit me with a rock one time, right underneath my eyeball, and I got this one. Yeah, and I got like 3 stitches, and then when I was in New York, I mean, I got jumped so many times, man. It was like crazy. I was getting jumped like every day, fighting a bunch of guys. But I'm saying, this is like in the 90s.
That's because you weren't
like
Puerto
nowadays. Dude, I'm telling you, yeah. When you laugh, man. But when I went to New York, when you were in high school, and this is one of the things that you have to be careful with your children. Coming from the race were like divided. So like the Hispanic hang around with the Hispanics, the white with the white, and the black with the black. And it was very common to I got jumped by. I'm not gonna go into that. I don't want my channel to. But anyways,
Yeah.
what I was gonna
Wait a
say.
minute now. Everybody had their own little toots, but now if us white guys hang around together, we're white supremacists.
No, yeah, but let's not go into. I know.
Hey, I gotta. Hey,
Oh no.
Jayhawk is here now. Now NSA is listening to us.
Where'd Jayhawk come from? Hey, Jayhawk's here.
He was reconning us.
Yeah. So Jarhead sent me a link. I guess he needed some Marine Corps backup support here. I got to tell you, society as a whole is a lot like that. It's sad, and I never forget. One of my last duty stations, I was in 29 Palms, and in the staff barracks, we always every Sunday or every Saturday we had a barbecue.
And by 29 Palms, Jayhawk means the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Oh God, yeah.
But hey, it's all.
You can't
good.
even find palms.
Yeah, it could be worse. I could have been at Fort Irwin.
Victorville.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, but
you could be close to an army base. I'm just saying.
But anyway, the guy who started the barbecues up was actually a Navy corpsman, and Mexican guy, and one day we got together and he was like, he's looking around and he's like, man, this is so weird. He goes, only on a Marine base will you find a black guy, a white guy, a Puerto Rican, a Mexican, we don't even know what you are. And you guys are laughing around, joking, having such a great time, drunk off your butt, and not one person has said anything, or it's not that we weren't saying racial stuff, it's just when we were, it was all in a joke and everybody knew it. It was like we were all a family of people. And he's like, you won't see that on a Navy base. He goes, you go to a Navy base, we're all in our own little groups. And it's sad that, society has gotten that way.
Yeah. That's because we always heard that we were all green. In the Marine Corps, everybody's green because we all wear green camis. Yeah, that's something that I always heard. So, but I mean, you I don't know if we want to go that way, but you still have at least nowadays you see some issues with gang related in the military. A lot of guys that are joining the military to learn tactics and then going back and teach the groups. Yeah. So we're seeing that nowadays too, which is kind of scary.
I personally myself think if you have any gang affiliate whatsoever, or been known to have a gang affiliate, you shouldn't be allowed in the armed forces.
I agree with you there, but I can say, like, my first unit, one of the guys in our platoon, we called him Penguin, because his feet would go out like this. So even when he stood at attention, when you're supposed to be at 45-degree angle, his were always out like that. So he was nicknamed Penguin. He was actually in a street gang, and the judge ordered 2 years in state pen or 4 years in the Marine Corps. It's your choice. And so he came in because he was forced to. But I don't know if the judge realized it or not. But all that did was raise his elevation up in the gang. Because once he did it 4 years, now he had all that training that he had received in the Marine Corps, and he could take it back to the gang. So that's been happening for a long time, brother.
Yeah, we had a kid that got killed here
there.
for that. We had a kid here in my city that got killed. I think it was 2007, and it was gang related, and they were all in the military. So you have to be very careful. But all right. What else we got in the topics? Do we got any questions? I haven't seen any questions. Hey, by the way, I got 3 trolls that I picked up sometime in the last 2 weeks.
Congratulations!
Yeah, I went from having like I think the first or the second I had like 2 dislikes, and then the third I had like 30 something dislike, and then it went to like 2. Like this guy hooked me up, man, and I think he's probably watching because we already got 3 dislikes. So
Woohoo!
No, that,
I haven't
welcome.
seen
You,
Alaskan Frontier, so
no, that's
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that's me.
Yeah, I actually dislike you too, Jarhead.
Yeah. Well,
oh heck, I might as well
yeah.
too.
The Democrats, man.
You know, I remember that Brian told me one time that the moment that I start seeing dislike, that's a good thing. But
You know you've
Ted,
arrived. Yeah.
yeah, Ted was talking to me. We were talking about it because apparently he subscribed to the Jarhead channel and he's disliking everything as well. So if you out there, buddy, keep disliking my videos. It's all good, bro. I don't care.
Hey, Jarhead. The great thing about those dislikes, they have to watch your video, so you get a view.
I know.
Right.
So thank you for the view. That's
Yeah,
what I do.
and it was actually pretty funny. Yep. So, but anyways,
I saw a video where a guy was talking about trolls, and he's like, I like to feed them. They actually bring lots of viewers to my channel. They share my videos, so once in a while he'll just put some comment up there,
That's
deliberately to make him angry. And he's like, "There's a little food now," and people are like sharing his videos, leaving him nasty comments.
Brian got that video shooting the troll. That's pretty cool. I was thinking about doing something similar, like get a troll or something, a target frame or something, and get my tomahawk and go out there and just like destroy the target with my tomahawk. I don't know, maybe something funny like that.
Yeah, dude, you need another tomahawk chucking video.
Yeah.
'Cause that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Let's see, man. I'm busy nowadays. Videos are coming fast, so.
There's just something about a Marine chucking a tomahawk that stirs up, the old Navy days when he used to board their ships. Nothing a Marine can do without his tomahawk.
I gotta tell you, man. The first time I went into a carrier for you guys, if you guys being in a big ship like that, it's impressive, man. You take like a small little ship that takes you to the big one, and then the back of the carrier kind of opens up, and you go inside the ship. You feel like you're in a spaceship or something. And those ships are huge, man. They're so big. I mean, I spent 6 months in a ship, and it sucks, man, because you spend weeks and weeks and weeks, and you just out there. The only thing you see is water. It is so depressing, man. Like, it's depressing. Big Hawk can tell you about that. And after a while, all you do is play video games, and like the whole ship rocks. So you be like rocking, and you don't even feel it. For the first couple of weeks, you're just puking all over the place.
Brother, I gotta tell you, I can't say anything about it. I was always.
You never went on a ship? Oh man, you lucky.
No, I have been on a ship, but I was never deployed on a ship. So I got lucky that way. I got to ride a civilian ship back from Korea down to Okinawa. So that was a slow tug, three-day long pleasure cruise where I was eating with the captain and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was always in a unit that was important enough to fly to my location.
Yeah.
Me too, and then they threw me out of the airplane.
Yeah, I never had to do that. They always been nice enough to stop and land,
I got to tell you, man. The first 3 months I was in a carrier, the USS Kearsarge, and then 3 months after that I went to a smaller deck, a smaller ship that was called Gunsterhole, and the big one has a lot of food because the admiral, the general, whoever it is. Or the whole thing, it usually hangs around there. So, but anyways, we used to eat really good, but the little one had no food, man. We used to get like 2 chicken nuggets and a cup of water a lot of times, and you give me 2 chicken nuggets, I get really pissed. So.
Hey, just so everybody knows,
bread.
He's not actually talking about an aircraft carrier. He's talking about an amphibious assault ship. It's like half the size of a real carrier. You're saying
one plane on
everybody's thinking like USS Nimitz or the Eisenhower or the Kitty Hawk or something like that. Kearsarge.
Baby, I'm talking about a boat, big one that has airplanes.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't think
talking
they don't call it a boat. They call it a ship. That's just the
Yeah.
difference.
I was on the
Yeah.
America one time,
Well,
USS America.
You know,
Man,
that's what Marines do when they talk to Navy guys, just to piss them off. You know, hey,
They
yeah,
make-
that's a pretty impressive boat. This ain't no boat, it's a ship. And they go off.
Yeah,
It's
good
so
lord.
funny. But no, he kept saying carrier, and the Kearsarge is a amphibious assault ship, and yeah, that's the way the Marine Corps gets around. That's our punch right there. It has all
been
our
on
heroes.
those two in Coronado, man. That was nasty. It's down below, all the pipes leaking water and stuff.
Well, you know, the
Oh,
Navy always hooks us up too, because the Marines were known for making a place of, you know, when we come to a place it may be nasty and bad and all that stuff, but when we leave it's all cleaned and squared away. So the Navy, what they'll do is they'll rotate the berths. So on one tour, the Navy will use one set of berths, destroy it, and then on the next tour, they'll throw the Marines in there and they'll move all their sailors into where the Marines were. You know, they always get their revenge on us.
Yeah. Works the same way with the Army.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Like
wonder
they
how
did
they came up with the idea to use an actual aircraft carrier to do that airborne assault on to Haiti. Some Army general came up with that one.
Okay. I have no idea.
NSA.
Yeah.
Jayhawks.
They would do it when Jayhawk was talking.
No, see, they're not picking on me anymore. They're picking on you.
Oh yeah, they quit doing that too.
They're picking on Van now. Yeah, it was Van left the chat, and then all of a sudden we got this buzzing on her ear, and they
There's
forgot to turn off their mics.
there's probably some New York State intelligence agency that's wired up to him. Yeah, because everybody's got their own little thing.
On
My
the side
government's
Telling
not
Van,
allowed.
man, keep telling Van he's flirting with disaster, keeping all his guns in his house like that, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna come get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Like I said, don't play all your cards in one pot.
Yeah, you know, I actually did a video for you tonight, Tom, where I do a shout out for you on that series. No, it'll be released in the next couple of days. That's why I joined late, I guess, because I was doing videos.
Actually, the last 3 nights in a row I had to reinstall everything that has to do with Google.
Oh.
So tonight I just said I'm going to watch a movie. I was on YouTube watching a movie, and movie got done. I said, okay, I'm going to go reinstall Google. I reinstalled it, and this invitation came up. That's why I was late.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I don't know what's going on. My Hangouts don't work half the time. I do get the 15 million pieces of mail an hour, but my Hangouts don't work half the time. I get on the chats like this. The other night it threw me completely off. I had to reinstall everything. Last 3 nights in a row it's thrown me completely off.
Yeah.
They just don't love me. It's got to be the beard. I didn't have this problem when I didn't have a beard.
Yeah. Hey, is Dan still here? Because I had a question for him.
No, he just left.
Oh, damn. I was going to ask him about that SR9 that he has. Yes. He did a video on that. And, my brother's fiance is looking at getting a pistol. She's never gotten one before. And I wanted to see if that would actually be a good one for her. She doesn't want to spend a whole lot of money. And it looks like that SR9C would probably be a good one for her.
I don't know. I was talking to Mountain Man 1478. He just bought one out of Guns Bud Shop. It's a Smith & Wesson MV9 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Polymer frame. Nice looking gun. $313. 2 extra 16-round clips shipped.
No kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was in the gun shop today getting delayed on my lower receiver and looking around, and they had a Galil in there, 5.56, but it was I forget exactly, a little bit north of $3,000, which I think is too much. So. I would love to have one though.
I would too.
Hey guys,
I would love to have a FAL, and I would love to have a Galil.
What'd you say, Brian?
So I'm going to cut out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
All right.
All right.
All right, brother.
Hey, take care, Brian.
Catch you tomorrow.
Yep.
Just for a side note, the guys over here in the sidebar was talking, if you haven't seen them, about this Outlaw Josie, I think her name is.
Yeah, that's it. No, Josie Outlaw.
Josie Outlaw. If you haven't had a chance to watch any of her videos, watch them.
Well, she has that one. Yeah, well, she's got that one. Why good people should be armed, and we were talking about how can we get the message out a little bit further. And like I said, her caption basically says, despite all fear mongering, emotionalism, and deceptive propaganda surrounding the issue of firearms, the principle that matters most is quite simple. And then she just goes into an amazing video, and it's not her producing it. It's actually another guy who actually helps her produce it. If you go through her channel, she doesn't have a lot of videos, but they are all like professionally produced. And it's only 13 minutes long, but it's very impactful. Come for
something like that. What we should do is take all of our subscribers, have everybody go over there and share the video, and make the damn thing go viral.
What video are you talking about?
It's Josie Outlaw, black-haired girl, blue eyes.
Oh, I think I've seen a video or two of
video.
I'm not subbed to her, but
Google here.
I got to show Al.
Put the link up again.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I think Dwayne put it up.
If I can get it in the camera. There we go.
She's got some outrageous videos. Not your typical gun nut. You people need to stop. And all this, they're very informative, done very articulately, to where the people that's fighting for the gun rights can understand it, and the people that's fighting against the gun rights would be able to sit down and say, hey, wait a minute, that makes sense. Because, they don't want to listen to us rednecks. Everybody that's fighting against the Second Amendment, we're just a bunch of idiots and dummies. But you take somebody like her that does it so articulately, now that's an argument for her, because they can't say she's stupid. Or she's a redneck, or...
Hey, brother, I gotta say, you need to count me out of that group. I'm not an idiot or a dummy.
No, I'm not saying you were, J-Doc.
I'm just saying, that's not a group I want to be a part of.
No copyright infringement intended there. I would never actually count anybody in that group. There's only two people in this world that are dumb.
Really?
Yeah. It's people who run for president without anything behind them and win, and the people who voted for him. But that's just my personal opinion. No copyright infringement intended. It's going to be the name of my new channel. No copyright infringement intended. But she comes off as all the videos I've watched her, and like General Bander said, she only has, I think, 7 videos, maybe.
She just released a new one tonight. I think it was tonight that she released a new one anyway, and it's 2 days ago actually. Who Owns You is what it is. She's
I've seen that one.
Yeah, she's self-proclaimed anarchist. I guess she didn't really know where she fit in, because everybody has to be labeled in the world. So, but that's kind of how she looks at it. But she tries to do it without yelling and screaming. She tries to do it through, kind of like I said, one of my last videos is just common sense and a calm, smart platform. And like I said, the videos are are just, it's really good. I mean, she's got another one in there called Message to Police, which honestly I thought was pretty decent too. So
Yeah, it was.
yeah. Yeah, just a young girl. I mean, she's got everything going for her. The fact that she's pretty, she's got a gun, which is, it's, so there's two attractive points. But she's very articulate, like Tom said. And like you said, it's professionally produced and so on. So, like I said, it is really good. You can't argue with the video. I mean, like I said, if you've got your fence sitters, and like Van Prepper had said, I think it was Van Prepper had said, by targeting the fence sitters, you're further ahead. And this is what politicians do. They look at the people who are undecided and chase those ones, because it's a lot easier to sway an undecided vote than it is a no vote. So, so how many undecided you have, that's what you got to chase after, right?
Hey, I gotta say, I think this chat's funny because K-Bar, you just said something, and A.L. Owens is in the chat room going, those views expressed by K-Bar are not his own and not the group. Hey,
Thanks,
you gotta remember Al Owens likes those, Eastern Bloc type of weapons, so you gotta take what he says, with kind of that slang.
You know what I think about him is that he didn't come here hanging around with us, but he's watching. Might as well join,
Fence sitter.
hey, Jarhead, I'm gonna hook you up, and I'm gonna let everybody know in the chat room that anything I say are my views and not yours.
You heard that, NSA?
As just a dumb redneck that lives in Mount Cobbs. How can you believe anything from anybody that lives in a place called Mount Cobb? Good Lord. Mount find me under a watermelon patch. Drug me up, raise me up.
Hey, Jayhawk, how far are you from Fort Leonard Wood?
Fort Lost in the Woods. See, I've never been there, so
That's the only place I've ever been in Missouri.
Okay, well, I can guesstimate that it is about 3 hours.
3 hours? Okay.
Yeah. It's about 2 hours from St. Louis.
Well, then
I think about 2 hours. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say you've been there, right? Because that's where your school is.
Yeah, and I went back in 2006. No, MPs.
MP.
I went to military police school there.
Oh, MP school's there too. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I went to physical security school in 2006. I went back there in 2006 for physical security. It was an army class, so I spent some time with the army there for 2-3 weeks.
That place is in the middle of nowhere.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Man, that's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm in motor transport, but I was never, I was trained at Camp Del Mar. And so Camp Pendleton is where I went to motor transport school. Trained by Marines.
Mm-hmm. You old school, dog. Old school.
Yeah.
That's back in the days.
Yeah. I think Chesty won great.
I helped train the 13th, what did they call it? Marine Service and Support Group. So MSSG, right? 13th MSSG back in 2005 out in Pendleton and Victorville.
Well,
training on some commo stuff and stuff like that.
The reason why I say that to Jayhawk is because a lot of the guys went to a MP school in Texas, I think it was. So I always heard that in the Marine Corps. You're not old school. We are old school. We went in Texas. So, but you know how it is, man. Somebody's always been in longer than you. After almost 12 years, they tell you, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been in 15 years. You're like,
yeah, but see, you've been in long enough to be able to use the term back in the day. Yeah, that's a term we like to use, and you hear it all the time. And back in the day is 10 years from today. Whatever it was 10 years ago, that's back in the day.
Oh, good Lord! That means I got to use way back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Back when
that was
they
one
were
of
around
the
the Earth.
Yep.
one of the things that used to kill me, man, and I'm sure you went through this. You see the young kids that just join and they're 19 years old, and they say, "Oh, I could run faster. I could run faster than the staff sergeant." And I'd be like, "Dude, I'm about to be 33 years old, and you're 19. Of course you could run faster than me." You know, and 90% of the time I could run faster than them. You know that, Jake. We saw
Yeah.
some shaped Marines like all the time, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of the young kids are like, "Oh, I could do more pushes than him." Dude, you're like 13 years younger than me. Of course you can.
You know, though, that's really just an excuse. A couple of years
yeah.
ago, back when they had, I think the 55th anniversary of Iwo Jima, or the 65th, one of the two. I was in Okinawa, Japan, and we had to send a fleet of vehicles there. So one of the gunnies went with there, or to Iwo Jima for that to make sure the vehicles were good. They were trying to amphibiously assault Iwo Jima again with commercial vans. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a good thing the gunny was there to stop them from trying to do that. But anyway, he said one of the most memorable things was one of the older people that was actually at Iwo Jima was there. He was like an 85-year-old guy, and he's in PT gear, and he's jogging in place, looked at a bunch of officers, and they were like, "Hey, let's go run up Mount Suribachi," and they were like, "Okay, yeah, let's do that." The old guy beat him, and they quit halfway up. The old 85-year-old guy actually ran all the way up to the top of Suribachi, and the current active duty officers could only make it halfway up. It was funny.
That's just
Wow. Yeah, I have a friend of mine here. He's an ex-Green Beret, a couple of years ahead of me, but same age. This guy will put on a 50-pound pack and go for a 10-mile jog. Come back home, sit down before breakfast, have his coffee, and you think nothing ever, like he just walked out for the mail.
Yeah.
He does this every day of the week. He takes his ruck, he puts it on, and he runs 10 miles.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
Hey, Jayhawk, did I hear you say that you were at 21 area Del Mar?
Yes, I sure was.
I'm quite familiar with that motor T ramp.
How are you now?
Yes, sir. I'm on an old 1833. I was in from 5 to 9.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I think where the school actually was is now, like the schoolhouse itself, where all our classes are taught, that's the NCO school. You know, right across from Sharky's. But where the motor pool was is, I think, 5th Combat Support Battalion is down there now. But that's where our motor pool is. I love Camp Del Mar.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. You can't beat that place. Right there off the beach. Back when I was there, you know, back in the day, you know, they had an E-Club there at Camp Del Mar, and it was ranked in the top 10 best clubs to go to in Southern California. I kid you not.
Yeah, them days are gone.
Yeah, and, you know, our barracks was, like, right next to that E-Club. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. But we also had 3 other schools there. We had the admin school, and we had the Amtracker school there. So, lots of fights. Lots. Because there was a football field in between the barracks and the E-Club. And, yeah, lots.
Oh, boy. A free-for-all.
Yeah, but back then you could get into a fight. It was no harm, no foul, as long as nobody got killed. Right?
Yeah,
you know,
it should be.
You get into a fight nowadays, yeah, your career is done.
We had MPs actually betting on a fight, Maxwell Air Force Base. They just let us go. We weren't inside of a building. We were out in the middle of the parade ground. And they were actually laying side bets who was going to win this. Anybody left standing, they left go. Anybody on the ground, they arrested.
Where was that at, Tom?
Maxwell Air Force Base.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I don't remember that.
Have you guys checking on any of you guys checking on the comments?
Oh no,
actually.
Yeah. I just did.
Yeah,
What do you guys think about SKS?
whoa, I didn't see
Any
that.
thoughts on it? Yeah,
Where's that
Chris
at?
Simmons has that. Maybe about 10 comments before the
Oh
last
shoot,
one.
I missed it. Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah.
I can't even see them, so
Any thoughts on it?
SKS.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit as good as an AK. Just shoots less.
Yeah, I like the you could customize them pretty good, but I mean, I don't really want to spend all that money. I prefer to buy an AK-47.
As a general rule, I just I don't know. I just don't buy Eastern Bloc stuff. I don't, you know.
Yeah.
Bang for the buck. I think there's better stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my 2 cents would be, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying it's gospel, but I don't really see any point in an American owning a Russian weapon. To me, it just seems silly.
Well,
Hey,
I
is
think
that-
there
is
was,
that-
I think
is
there was
that
a
Biscuit?
time. I think there was a time when it was economical, but I think
Yeah.
that's long over.
True. Yeah, if all you have is $100 to spend on a rifle, say back 10 years ago,
Yeah.
yeah, SKS is the way to go. But I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't really have a lot of experience with actual Russian ones, but I know my brother had a couple Chinese ones and another friend, and they were just complete garbage. And I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, they're junk. I mean, we'd take them out when I was in the Army. We'd take them out twice a year, all the Russian stuff, and go shoot it, just to be familiarized. And yeah, I mean, it was garbage, but
Even the Russian ones are bad too.
yeah,
No.
it was garbage. But
Okay. Now that you guys have bashed all the best stuff, let me tell you what I actually think. I haven't spoke up on that one yet. I got to tell you, I'm all for them. I like the Russian guns. And you can argue all you want about accuracy or whatnot. SKSs are actually pretty accurate
Yes, they're pretty
for
accurate.
what they are. For what they are. Me personally, I'm with Jarhead. I would rather have an AK than an SKS. Yes, you can customize them. Yes, you can put detachable magazines on them. But I can change out an AK mag a lot quicker than I can an SKS mag. And not only that, I can carry them. You know, they're easier to carry and all that stuff. As far as economics go, a AR ammo is not cheap. It's
no,
not cheap at all.
that's true. You can get the 7.6239 cheaper than 5.56 NATO for sure.
And not only that, I mean, if you went the other route, if you went to the 74s, you could get a lot more for a lot less. But
Well, I guess a friend of him has one for $100. I'll buy it for $100.
yeah,
An SKS? An SKS?
Yeah, that's what he's saying now.
Yeah. Depending on what kind of shape it was in, I'd probably spend $100 on an SKS. You know, it's kind of like a Mosin, right? I mean, I'd spend $100. I probably would not spend $150 on a Mosin. I'd probably spend $100.
Well, at least the Mosin's round is actually pretty effective. The 7.62x39 is, in a full metal jacket form, it's a disgrace to a 30 caliber. You know,
It's a 100-yard round. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like 300 blackout, basically. I mean, you go 150 yards, 200 yards, but
Yeah. It sickens me when people lump it in the same group as an .06 or a 308 just because it's 30 caliber. It's like, no, don't
not
do
even.
that.
no, it's a
Yeah,
short
but
range.
what are you all the choices?
It's like a
you know?
30-30 Winchester, you know.
It's not even the
Same bullshit.
30-30.
Yeah, I know, but I mean that's kind of what you're talking about, right? You're talking about 150 yards or
Yeah,
less.
true. But see, the problem is most, like around here, people that hunt with SKSs or AKs, they do it because it's cheap, and they don't buy good ammo, so they use FMJs. And I mean, shooting a 39 FMJ at a deer is, you might as well be shooting at them with a 22. It's just going to pop right through them. It's not going to do much. And they just wound the hell out of deers, and they're like, oh, well, it's a 30 caliber. It's like, no. I mean, well, it is, but like I said before, they lump it with all the rest, and that's just bullcrap. If they used actual decent ammo, it might not be so bad.
yeah.
But what is your other? I mean, for a guy looking for a rifle and on a budget, because not everybody has a lot of money to buy a Remington 700 on 308.
I
So
say
what
get two more
what's your other
jobs and buy an
choice?
M14.
But doesn't Remington make a cheap 700 now for like $300? Isn't there some cheap synthetic stock 700?
Yeah, I got a Remington.
Or what's the other one? Savage, right? Savage you can get for $300, right? I mean, holy cow!
Was it Kiowa or Iowa or something like that? They also I've seen some good reviews on those.
I mean, you're talking MOA or better in a bolt action for 300 to 350 maybe. You probably got half a dozen different manufacturers. I can think of Savage and Remington,
Marlin. There's another one.
Marlin. Yeah. There's probably half a dozen different who can give you MOA or better in a bolt action.
Yeah, but I think usually people that are talking about buying SKSs, because that's what the actual comment is. I know somebody who has an actually really nice SKS. Thing's damn accurate as hell too. They're usually going that route because they don't have a lot of funds. And so, when you start talking about spending, a lot of money on a good gun, it comes down to the funds and it comes down to the ammo. If you're looking for a 308 caliber or the 30 caliber round, but not have a lot of money to spend on it, you can't beat a Mosin because 440 rounds of 308 by 54R. You can't beat it as long as you get a decent scope on that thing. You can get some distance with it.
Yep.
And it's cheap. That's the whole thing. So like when somebody asks me what I think about SKS, I think Scooch Double Lock said it best. When it comes to a semi-automatic rifle, what they can be used for hunting, you can't beat an SKS. He actually said he would have that over a grand. An M1 Grand, but then again, you could buy 3 SKSs for the price of an M1 Grand.
But you're also talking about a TMPer. Not going to take whatever he says with a grain of salt.
Oh, really? I see. I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, he's a.
I'm not gonna.
I've hunted with M1 Garand, and I mean, you can take. I mean, elk is no problem, of course, with the M1 Garand. The problem with M1s is 13 pounds. So I mean, you got to decide if you want to carry a 13-pound weapon out into the woods for whitetail or blacktail versus what's an SKS, maybe 8 at the most.
Yeah. Well, and the other issue is the ammo. So when you're talking about buying an American gun versus the Russian guns, it always comes back to the ammo. I don't know what American 308 ammo costs, but I guarantee you can't buy 440 rounds for under $100.
Nah.
No, you definitely can't.
I saw some. I think it was like 20 rounds for like $16, and it was like Brazilian or something. It's the cheapest well, other than if you get the Russian thing, the Bears, that's like $9 for 20 rounds or something like that. If you get lucky.
Yeah, when it comes down to the price, it's like you just can't beat those Russian guns for that. And that's why I'm a huge fan of it, because Jarhead6, I'm like you, brother. I'm living off of retirement. I'm going to school. I ain't got a whole lot of money. So that's why I went with what I did. Saved up to get me an AR because I love the AR. I'm trained on them and everything else. But I'll tell you, my wallet hates me every time I go to buy a freaking ammo for my AR.
Well, at least you don't have to pay for braces and glasses, because my boy just broke his glasses, so I got to buy new ones.
Well, at least you're not building a 6.8 AR, because then you'd be paying even more.
Damn, and Metal Trooper 62, he has my phone number, and he didn't even call me to tell me he was selling his Norinco SKS. All right, buddy, I remember that.
So back to Chris Simmons' question, did he say whether it was Chinese or Eastern Bloc, or I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that either. He says it's in great shape.
Yeah.
He's selling it for $100.
$100 even for a Chinese is a damn good deal.
Well, no.
No?
$100 for anything that goes boom is a good deal.
Yeah, man, I'll buy it for preppers. You know, you never know if you need an extra weapon, you still have it around the house. I don't know. This is just me, but I got that Remington 770, and I got the Savage Axis on 30-06 too, and the Remington 770 is on 308. And
I'm thinking
I barely use them, but I just wanted to have some extra weapons, and they're pretty cheap, you know.
I'm thinking even if it's Chinese, you could get a SKS for $100 and resell it for a couple hundred.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right.
Yeah. Hey, Chris Simmons, if I was you, brother, I would definitely pick that gun up.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a semi-automatic rifle, you still can't beat it, and the ammo is going to be cheap. The ammo.
And even if you do have a semi-automatic rifle, the resale value on that,
yeah,
you probably triple your money.
Especially in a couple of years.
And if the guy really is your friend, maybe you could buy it from him to help him out, and then if he wants to buy it back, you could sell it back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the guy's your friend, I mean, I would do that. I would feel bad for taking advantage of a friend, so I would just sit there and hold on to it for him, and then when the guy comes
Shoot
back,
the hell out of it.
the guy comes back going, "Hey, would you sell me my gun or sell me that gun I sold you back?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah.
It's not a shotgun, but I'll
1,000
sell it back.
rounds through it, but here you go.
Yeah. If you don't buy it, let me know and I'll buy it. I'll pick it up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, a lot of people are telling him, "Buy it, buy it, buy it." It sounds like Metal Trooper's saying $100 for a Russian SKS. Yeah, if it's a Russian SKS, you better buy that thing because that thing's resale value is going to be about $600.
Really?
Yeah, for a Russian one?
Yeah, Russian one.
Especially if it still has the bayonet attached.
Yeah, the Yugoslavian ones are, I think they're coming back down to about 400 now. It's like if I was going to buy a SKS, I would go with either a Russian or a Yugoslavian one. I just like those ones better. But I have no need for one.
I like that. I like that pistol AK that you have. I've been looking into that. That's a pretty good weapon.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I dig it.
Hey, you know, I gotta tell you, they came out with the new ones, and the new ones are the same price that I paid for this one, and it comes with an arm brace to help you hold it. So it comes out to about here on your arm to help you hold it straight. Okay. Now, why the ATF chose to allow that brace is beyond me. Because in an SHTF situation, that brace is now a stock, and you have a SBR with a 10-inch barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you think about it, that arm brace is about as long as a Warsaw pack stock. Yeah. So for somebody who's short like me, that would be a perfect brace, and it actually, you know, it forms a cup, so you've actually got a buttstock right there.
You can build an AR or an AK with that arm brace, and it's fully legal. Mm-hmm. It's a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't put a vertical foregrip on there.
No, you sure can't. And in some states, you can't even put the angle foregrip on there either.
Right.
You know what's really aggravating about that? About 30 years ago, when I was into pistol hunting, I got stopped by the game commission here because I was actually using a Y stick with my Ruger Single 6 to steady it. You can't have that. So why not? You say because it's considered a detachable stock, you can't do that. But they could put an arm brace on an AK.
Yep.
Figure that one out.
Well, you're trying to. I mean, you're assuming that the federal government is going to actually make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I don't make that assumption
somebody
anymore.
Got fired after they approved that one. Somebody, what? You approved that?
Jayhawk's going on that tomorrow. Jeez.
Well, you know.
So here's a question for you. We threw around SKS. So what is an Uzi 9mm worth? I saw one today. I don't either. It's kind of interesting though.
I've seen them anywhere
Last
from
time I seen one
700
was
to
going for
1,000.
about 1,800.
They're around $2,000.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, that's
Was that
last time I seen one. That was a couple of years ago.
and was that a full auto?
No, just a
No.
semi-auto.
Okay, yeah, you can get them from around $700 to $900.
Okay, so about $1,000.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, I think that's too much. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see too much of a purpose with it.
Yeah. I mean, you can get a high point for 180.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Oh, that's just another gun that Hollywood made too famous.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I look at automatic weapons. It's just to suppress the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And we deal with automatic weapons a lot. And I carry 300 rounds on me, over 300 rounds at some points, and who wants to carry all those rounds and just waste them? One shot, one kill. That's more better. You know, well aimed
One of the
shots.
things I'm going to add to my arsenal this year is a pistol caliber carbine in 9mm. So I'm looking at all the different options, and so
I like
far,
that Kel-Tec.
so far,
Kel-Tec
none.
awesome.
Well, yeah, Kel-Tec's fine,
Mhm.
but to me, the high point is the best bang for the buck for like $180.
Yeah.
The Kel-Tec's good if you're a Glock guy because you can get one with Glock mags, but you're going to pay $460, something like that.
I just dig the fact that you could break it down, fold it, and put it inside a pack. I like that. I mean, the
Hey
fact
guys,
that
I
you
don't
share.
mean.
What's up?
I don't
Tom?
mean to interrupt. But my wife is sick and I have to go. So.
All right, Ted.
Okay. Well, hey, take care.
Nice chatting with you guys.
Catch you later.
All right, brother.
Yep.
But I like the fact that you can put Glock magazines. Yeah, that's nice. But the fact that you can fold it, that's what kind of sold me. I haven't been able to find one, and I've been looking around, and
they're hard to find, and you're going to pay top
they're
dollar.
sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Sold out everywhere.
You're going to pay top dollar.
Yeah, I think it's gun brokers. They have it, but like people asking a lot of money for them. So
Yeah, you're not gonna find very many deals on Gunbroker.
Nope.
No, I stay away from that place.
You just go down to your local gun shop and you just order one. You're gonna wait, 3-4 months or whatever, and you'll pay retail. So.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah. How much do they go for retail? The retail price?
I think they're
300.
Yeah, I think they're $350 retail, but I'm not sure you're gonna get one for $350 even from a local gun shop. So it'd be good to go ask and see.
Hey, hey, 504, have you checked out
Yeah.
the Marlin 9mm carbine they have?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you
What-
can't
what
get
are the
them
prices
anymore,
on-
right?
I don't know.
They're expensive. They're like $400 because
okay.
they quit making them in 98 or they quit making them a while ago. But yeah, the Marlin Camp 9, I think is what it was called. Nice rifle, kind of like a 10-22, but it shoots a 9mm, and very nice. So.
See, I wasn't for sure about those because I'm kind of in the market for one too, and I just Googled some pictures and I saw that Marlin made one, and I noticed they didn't have one on their website, so I'm guessing it was an older gun, but I kind of figured it'd be
obsolete.
top dollar. So.
And they go for whatever reason, they go for top dollar now, so it's kind of crazy. But really, the high point is, best bang for your buck right now, and there's no problems with it. They're awesome.
Yeah, it seems that way.
They sell some. I think ATI has some custom stocks if you want to like fix them up or something. I seen it.
But there's nothing wrong with a high point stock.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to go putting a bunch of money into a $180 gun.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you have a $600 gun. Might as well buy an AR or something.
The biggest rub against the high points up to now has been the 10-round magazine. That's all that they had, right? But they're supposed to be coming out with 25-round magazines.
Yeah. I saw, was a while ago, I saw that Glocks have like this drum that you could put like 50 rounds or something. It's kind of funny.
It's Korean. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did it?
No, supposedly they work great. Yeah.
I know.
I think Zombie Squad, Zombie Squad, right?
Yeah.
Guys from New Mexico.
Yep.
He's got one of those Korean drums, 50 rounds. He says it works great.
Yeah.
No problems.
I've heard Iraq veterans say they work great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty credible when it comes to that stuff. So.
I don't know, man. If somebody comes out with a gun with a drum, that's just time to run, I guess. That's a lot of bullets coming your way.
Nah, man. You know,
Find cover, bro.
Hey, you know them drums are heavy. That means they can't really shoot that.
I don't know. The first thing I would do is like find cover and then do one of this, like shoot. Like.
I'm thinking about getting a drum for this bad boy. You know. Now that they're back down to reasonable prices, I mean, they were up to like $300 for a drum, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. They were $70 not too long ago.
Yeah, you know what I've been dying to get, man, and I haven't been able to is I want to buy a Remington 700, really bad. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, and I just want to buy me one. It's one of those things that I like to get the one that I think it's like AADC or something, the SPS Tactical. I don't know if it's AAD or something. It's the one with the threaded barrel. I can't remember the name. SPS Tactical something. But anyways, they run for about $600, $700. I just want to buy me one of those in 308. That would be pretty cool to get. But money has to come. So
308, that'll cost you some money.
Yeah. But I got all the weapons and I mean I gotta finish the AR. I gotta buy the.
You need a sniper rifle, man. You don't have a sniper rifle yet.
What? I got a sniper rifle right here, man. I'm a U2 sniper. You see my keyboard? Yeah. That's how I roll.
Right on.
Yeah, you got to put a scope on that bad boy.
I got to put a scope on it. I got a monster cam right here.
The scope needs to be at least 3/4 of the length of the whole weapon. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna sit down and listen to somebody teach me tactics, and I'm just gonna criticize him. You don't know how to do that. What? I know how to do it better. That's very familiar.
This AR I'm building is probably going to cost me about $1,100 or $1,200 all said and done, and the optic will probably be $1,500.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That's. I'm planning to spend $300 for the upper and maybe about $400, and that's it. I gotta buy some sights. Yeah, I mean the lower is being sent from Alabama Owens and Ted, so maybe $300 for the upper, and the bolt and the charging handle is probably gonna be another $100 around there, and then some sights from maybe I get those.
Hey, my Bushmaster charging handle was not good enough for you?
You didn't send it, dude.
I put it in the box.
No, you didn't.
He threw it away. Holy cow!
I'm telling you right now. No, you didn't, man. I'm
gonna look, brother. If I still have it, I will send that out straight to you.
Yeah, because I looked at it.
I thought I did. I thought I sent that to you in that package.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I didn't. I'll look. If I got it, it's yours, bro.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. But
that'll save you about $20.
All right, so I need $380 around there now. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not looking for high quality. I'm gonna find some way in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to have like, everything freaking high quality or whatever. So I'm good with right in the middle.
Well, the thing is, though, is it really comes down to what you're going to use it for. Like if you're trying to set up for a sniper rifle, that means you're taking shots, beyond 500 meters.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You got to spend money on a good scope. Otherwise, you're wasting your money on buying the rifle itself. So, if you're looking at building something like that, you're going to have to spend some money. But ARs and stuff, if you're spending $1,800 on a sight for an AR, you're crazy. You're crazy. I mean,
unless you're building a 6.5 Grendel. You could spend $2,000. You could spend $3,000. I mean, on a 5x25 decent optic for that and shoot 1,000 yards with it easy.
Okay,
but I mean,
yeah.
that's a whole different league.
Yeah,
than
well,
most
we're
people are
talking
doing.
us average folks, the ones that spend
Yeah.
about $1,000 to $1,200 on an AR. If you're spending
Yep.
if you're spending $600 on a sight, you're overkilling it because
For sure.
like my carbine, I know it's a 300 meter. You can shoot further, yes, if you're trained, but it's a 300 meters and in gun.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna buy the regular
And a
iron
3x9.
sight.
3x9 is awesome out to 500 yards.
Yeah.
You can really do some damage out at 500 yards, and you can get some really good 3x9s for $300 or less.
Yeah.
I'm not planning to put a scope on it, man. I'm just gonna put plain. I think it's the Magpul iron sights that they got, the flip on or whatever they're called, for about less than $100.
You don't even need flip ups. You don't even need flip ups, man. If you do that.
I'm not planning to.
Because is your upper coming with sights or not?
No, the one that I saw it didn't. It was just straight up one of those flat tops deal. So.
Yeah.
So I think I don't want to say the price, but I think I saw some the sights on Magpul for like $60-$70 maybe.
The Magpuls are probably the cheapest, but they're plastic. So you spend a little more and get some actual aluminum ones. But
yeah, I haven't done any research on it. But if you're saying they're plastic, I don't like them already.
They're plastic. Yeah, they're plastic.
For the Imbus?
I mean, I'm not putting them on mine, and mine's going to have a scope, right? So I'm going to have flip up backup sights because I have a quick detach on the scope. I'm not getting Magpuls, but
yeah, I don't like the plastic. I didn't know that, so
nah.
All right.
Wait a minute. This is coming from the man that loves Glock, but he won't put a freaking plastic sight on his rifle.
Yeah, ain't that funny, man? What's up with that?
He's got plastic sights on his pistol, and he's got a plastic pistol, but he won't put plastic sights on his rifle that is made from the same plastic.
That's an excellent point, J-Hawk. That's an excellent point.
Leave it to Jacob to call me out, man.
Hey, Jarhead, you copy?
Yeah, I got it.
I got a flip-up sight. I was issued. It's a MagTech. I acquired it from the Marine Corps, and I have no use for it. If you are in the market, I will sell it to you for free.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, definitely.
There you go.
Man, let's keep talking about this. I'm gonna build an AR for you guys tonight.
Yeah. Whenever you want to do, just let me know. It's got very slight use on it. It's been in one of the little bags I had in Iraq, and it's been installed on something. I don't know what the hell I even had it for because we had ACOGs. I think they gave it to us for a backup, but I never used it.
Yeah. I still have a peep sight one, a metal peep sight.
If you got an ACOG left over, you could send that my way.
Now, if I had one, I wouldn't be sending it to anybody. That I couldn't acquire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it, bro. It's gonna be awesome. So far, I
have a leaf sight for a 203 if you want that too.
No, I don't have a 203.
I was a 203 gunner, man. You know, I never use that sight. I could stick it through the window at 250 yards just from my hip. I didn't even need the sight.
I did the same thing from the hip too.
Nowadays they got like lasers. The last time I saw them, they had lasers. I never used them, but they were like some type of aiming system that used a laser. So I don't know. You ever use them? Any of you guys? Well.
Nope.
Yeah, it was like a I don't know, kind of like a horseshoes kind of thing that attached to the 203, and it had like a laser. I don't know how they use it.
Well, that's taking all the damn fun out of it.
Yeah. I had a 203 in 2007.
I could literally hip shoot a 203, and I'm telling you, on the qual range, I could put through a window every time at 250 yards.
You know, I got to tell you, in boot camp. Old boot camp story here. When they were teaching us the 203 and how to use the sights, it got to that part where they were talking for the 450 meter sights, with the dummy rounds, and they asked for a volunteer, and a guy actually hit the dummy inside the window at 450 meters. First time shooting the 203.
That's killer, man.
Yeah, the drill instructors were all like shocked because they were getting ready to shoot it, and they were like, "Oh, nope, we're not going to touch it now."
That's not. It's such a fun weapon. I mean, it's so different from a rifle or a pistol because you're taking in all this elevation and windage into it. It's just really fun to shoot. But man, you got to shoot the hell out of it to get good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing I'm sad about is the only thing I got to use mine for in Iraq was to shoot frickin' pyro.
Yeah, I never shot mine in there except at the range.
Never did get to throw any HEDP on anybody.
Nope, me either.
I had a buddy that was trying to.
And believe me, it's painful to carry around all that ammunition.
Yeah, that ain't
Painful.
no kidding. That ain't no kidding.
Jesus.
Yeah, it reminds me of somebody once made a comment about you should put a 12 gauge shotgun underneath your AR, and I'm like, no, actually I shouldn't. And they're like, oh, for breaching or this, that, and the other, and I'm like, yeah, but if you put a shotgun there, it's kind of like the 203. It messes up your whole aiming. You know, you get used to carrying a gun. You get used to where your hands go and all that, and so getting used to dropping it down so you could use the shotgun, I guess, it just messes the whole thing up. I'm like, no, I got 20 years the other way. I'd rather just stay that way.
Well, obviously, Jayhawk, you need to watch more Predator.
That's right, man.
Well, you know what it really comes down to is I forgot that, in Call of Duty there's no difference.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy was a Call of Duty commando. I mean, he was an SAS a Force SAS Spetsnaz. He was everything. And
you've obviously forgotten that Hollywood teaches reality when it comes to firearms as well. I mean, you got to take Hollywood into account as well as Call of Duty. I mean, those guys have virtual PTSD. You have to be nice to them.
That's so right. Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah,
I keep forgetting that. I'm kind of stuck in the real world, so. When somebody said that, I'm like, they're like, yeah, you're in an SHTF situation. This shotgun would be great. And I'm sitting there, why would I need it? And they're like, oh, to breach. And I'm like, if I'm in an SHTF situation, I ain't breaching anything. And if I am breaching something, I ain't doing it with a shotgun. I'm going in nice and quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of experts on YouTube.
Yeah, when you come in with a shotgun, you're telling the people inside three things. One, you're coming in. Two, which direction you're coming in. And three, you have a gun and you have one less round than you had when you started. I'm not about it.
Never really did much breaching, without some type of explosive projectile going in first. So.
Yeah, and I don't have.
I was a pussy, I'd like to just kind of blow that thing up inside first, and then go in and see what's going on.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny, but that was that Call of Duty commando guy. So.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at it from his perspective. If you breach and you're down around and you get killed, you could just respawn and start all over.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that too.
Yeah, and it depends on which, sometimes it's 5 seconds, sometimes 10, but either way, you'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. Oh, SHTF, yeah, definitely something I'm going to be doing. Nah, but it's all good.
It's all good to dream about it.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys ever get questions where people want you to teach them tactics? Like actual tactics, military tactics?
No.
Yeah, I mean, people dig it sometimes, but I don't know what am I gonna teach people how to do some kind of attack or combo security or how to run a scout vehicle or how to do a protective service detail. Like, I don't know, that's too much for me, I think. I don't know. I did a video tonight. I haven't released it yet, but me personally, I'm an expert in convoys, vehicle convoys, and to include the security element of it too. And I won't teach that stuff. I've been asked. I've had people ask me to do it, but I won't teach it because
who's watching?
Yeah.
You know, and we change our tactics. We change our tactics up all the time, but it all still comes down to the same basic stuff. We just modify it a little bit, you know, here and there. But convoy tactics has been the same as it has been since there's been vehicles. So
pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
pretty
can't
much.
keep that stuff.
Space it out.
I mean, at the
blah,
same
blah.
time, if you go to Google and you Google it, I'm sure you're gonna find PowerPoint presentations on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and 90% of the time you find the PowerPoint presentation and the first page or the first slide will be like, hey, I'm Staff Sergeant blah 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 from Army, Marine Corps. I'm gonna teach you convoy and pictures, and I mean a complete training plan online.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I'm with you, J-Log. It's crazy that information is there for people to check out. You know?
Yeah.
And I know this.
I don't think it's any big secret. I mean, everybody does the same kind of stuff, right?
And I think from experience, I've seen this in the past, and when I worked in the command element, which I mean, every day we had to talk to the general. And a lot of times, even the media is giving I wouldn't say misinformation, but not the quite right information, because the enemy is watching CNN. The enemy knows when Marines are going to attack because they're watching CNN. I'm talking about like big attacks like Nasiriyah, Fallujah, Marja, places like that were attacked. The enemy is watching CNN, waiting to get information from us. So
I've drawn down on La Prensa with an M60, man.
Yeah.
I have. Don't get too close, man. That's right.
Somebody's a little old.
Yeah. That's old school.
Old school.
Hey, like I told you already, man, I'm not jumping out of any airplanes. You crazy, man. I don't do that. So I give it to you.
It's safer than landing in them, man.
Man, he's got a point.
Yeah. That's just too crazy for me, man. So.
Yeah, I don't want to be a lawn dart.
It's funny how
safer than flying around those helicopters, man. Those things were just death traps.
It's just funny how the military make you do things that you don't really want to do.
Like everything?
Like, yeah, just about everything, yeah. Because I've done some, it was funny. A lot of times when we flew in one of the deployments that I went, the patrol base are a lot of times they're small, and you don't have an LZ inside the patrol base, so they tell you to go outside the patrol base to get picked up by the birds, and a lot of times they're like, hey, go out there, the bird is coming, and then you come out of the base, you're insecure in the middle of nowhere, and then 30 minutes later, the bird finally shows up. So for like 20 minutes, you're just standing there saying, oh man, I hope I don't get shot. And 90% of the time, it's just dangerous, man. I don't like flying at all. Me personally, I don't like flying. So
it is for the birds, literally.
Yeah,
flying sucks, especially in helicopters. And doubly so for Marine helicopters. Yeah. Holy crap. Those things are terrible.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever watched, like, 90% of the time I'm watching the crew, what was it, crew chief? Yeah. I'm watching him to see if it's flipping out. If it flips out, then I'm flipping out. But
yeah.
I got to say, I worked with the aviation side for a while, and I take offense to the Marine aircraft thing. I got to tell you, yeah, I sure do.
Man, those things leak oil like crazy, Jacob.
Yeah, I know, and
there's always hydraulic fluid all over the inside and stuff. It's like, man, does this thing fly?
Hey, they do fly. They've been flying for a long time, and I mean, we got the Ospreys now, and I don't care what anybody says. Those AH-1s, those things are sweet.
That was crazy, man. I was down in Pendleton, 29 Palms in like 2005, man. They had the Ospreys come in and do some sling loads. That is a freaky sight, man. You see an airplane come in, turn into a helicopter, pick up a Humvee, and take off.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're talking about the 46s, you know, which is just a baby 47.
53s and 46s are the big oil leakers. Yeah.
Yeah, the 53s though, that's a workhorse right there. I mean, up until the Ospreys came along, the 53 was the most powerful. It could lift more stuff than anything else in the world. So, I mean, it's a massive aircraft.
Did I tell you guys the first time I flew in one of those? I was in a base in a location in Afghanistan, and I'm waiting for the bird, and it's coming down. And I'm standing right there looking at it, and I'm like, wow, man, a V-22 is about to land in here the first time, you know. So, you know, Marines, man, I'm a little bit excited. I'm gonna go inside a V-22 for the first time, and out of nowhere, man, all hell broke loose, man. Over 300 people attacked the base. I mean, people were climbing up the HESCO barriers to go inside a patrol base. Of course, the V-22 didn't land. It was about to land, saw the firefight, and took off. And so I pretty much missed the plane for about maybe 3-4 minutes. And I got stuck in that base for a few days after that attack because it was pretty bad. Even the F-18s or F-15, whatever they are, came down. I mean, it was pretty bad attack, man. But hey, Marines kick butt, you know. We always take care of business.
Yeah,
you guys know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I do some work with those F-18s. And those V-22s, actually. I do some work with those, too.
They go pretty fast. Like, they pick you up, and it's kind of like a roller coaster. They go from the ground to whatever in the sky, like, very quick, man. That's one of the things that I was surprised about it. So,
well, you know you're in for a ride when you see when you sit in a chair and it's a 5-point harness.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when they put all your stuff in, like with the 53s and stuff, they just throw it there and they don't do anything. Them V-22s, they latch it all down, and you're like, okay, that's unusual. And then as soon as you're done taxiing off the runway, you do it. You're going up like that. You're like, whoa, or as I was like this.
Man, man, I always feel like a kid, man. I feel like my little boy when I put him in the car. I gotta put his seatbelt on because usually the crew chief would come down, make sure your belt, and he's like hooking you up and because I don't know about you guys, I always put a run, man. I couldn't figure it out the first kind of time, so how to put that seatbelt and all that stuff on, but they hook you up pretty quick, man.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, what I was impressed with those V-22s is, like when we got out of the first one I rode in on, they told us, make sure you go back about 100 meters and set all your gear down. Once you're done that, we'll leave. I had a couple of sea bags with me. I was kind of like the scrounge for the group, so I had some sea bags, extra sea bags. These things must have weighed at least 100 pounds. And when that thing took off, they just started rolling across the desert.
Oh, yeah.
And we were 100 meters behind the damn thing. And the sea bag, it was throwing so much thrust out that it was rolling our sea bags. I was just like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, the 53 is pretty powerful, too. We'll do something like that as well. I seen it doing it, but the old days.
I gotta tell you, I like watching the 53s do the HSTs at night, so you can see the electricity flowing.
Yeah.
All the static coming off those rotors.
Yeah, yep. I have seen a Marine fall off a Connex box doing one of those too. He touched the hook by accident and shot him off the box.
Yeah. That's pretty much the only job that those red patches guys have. Other than that, they barely, other than running the beach, doing port operations, they don't do anything else, man. And they pick up rank so fast. Those guys are staff sergeant by 6 years in the military. They gunned by 7 or 8. I had an entire platoon because when I was in the MEU, I had pretty much an entire platoon that worked for us. So and they were all corporals. Every single one was a corporal and was in the Marine Corps, what, a year and a half? Because they pick up rank like crazy, stupid fast, man.
What do they do?
I had one that was when I, when I when I first got to an intel battalion, because I served in an intel battalion, the S4 shop, and we had one, and he was a corporal when I got there. A year later, he was a sergeant. A year after that, right as he was leaving, he picked up staff sergeant. So every year, he got a rank. But I'll tell you, there is a faster one. CI Human, counter intel, human intelligence guy.
Yeah, but those guys are different, though. You got to pick up sergeant to go into that one.
You got to be a corporal. But yeah, you have to be NCO rank. But by the time they're finished with their classes and all that stuff, then they're a sergeant. But I got to tell you, I knew a guy. He was a sergeant, staff sergeant, gunny.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I looked into going to that MOS many years ago, but those guys, a lot of times they're like operators, man. Other than some of those guys do a lot of intel briefing, but 90% of those guys sometimes hang around with the MARSAC guys collecting evidence and not collecting evidence, doing interrogations, because I did missions with them. So you have to be a pretty smart guy to go into that job, bro. But let me take it back. We've seen some dumb people in the military that
book smart maybe.
Yeah,
well,
you're right. Book smart.
I gotta tell you, when it comes to those particular guys,
yeah,
they're all handpicked. They're all handpicked, and you know the way they screen them, and I'm not going to go into that because I do know how they do it, but you have to be smart. You have to be able to learn new stuff, but you also have to be able to get along and be part of a team. And they screen all of that. That stuff is screened before you're even accepted into it. But yeah, I'm with you. They do a lot of stuff with the operators, but you know, I used to think the word oxymoron for military intelligence, but nah, them guys are good.
Yeah, it's kind of. I don't know if you were Jayhawk, if you're familiar with the guy. I guess. Oh, what years were you in, or when was the last? When did you get out? I should say.
I retired in August 1st of 2011.
And were you still? Oh, I guess that would have been. Were you still around like Del Mar then, or was that in your old days?
No, Del Mar was in my old days.
Oh.
The last time I was in Del Mar was in 2010.
Because we had a master gunnery sergeant, which I thought was pretty funny. His last name was Singleton. I don't know if you ever ran across him. He was an old Amtracker, but his goddamn he basically I think he retired after 31 years. When his last 3 or 4 years, he was basically just a novelty.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen several like that, but he was a little overweight, and his mustache was definitely not in regs, and goddamn, his blues coat had to weigh at least 100 pounds of those fucking medals. But pardon my French. But anyway, he was a staff sergeant in Beirut.
Wow.
So I mean, that tells you he picked up rank pretty quick, but he owned a place there in Oceanside that sold like tactical stuff too. He did that on the side. He re-enlisted as an E1, which I found pretty weird. I guess he did a little time in the brig for getting drunk and starting fights, whatever, and he actually got swindled into re-enlisting. I can't remember when he said he joined, but re-enlisting, I can't imagine anybody doing that, and still being able to be an E6 by the time he hit Beirut, which I guess he would have probably had 7 or 8 years in it. Man, he was the most salty Marine I've ever seen or heard of, and he would not salute lieutenants. He refused to do it. And it was hilarious to watch a butter bar walk and be like, "Hey, Master Guns, where's my salute?" And he'd just be like, "Yeah, whatever, just walk off." I didn't know if you ever saw him around or not. Yeah, he didn't do anything his last few years, and he always smoked a cigar, and he smoked and walked. He didn't care.
I've heard of the guy, but I don't think I've actually met him. I have heard of him. I